and go. Alright, so previously on Tales of Aether, you guys have been followed from the vampire base by a couple um, retrofitted civilian shuttles that have attempted very pathetically to destroy your weapon. They scratched your paint and forced you to retreat after destroying them to Orella to buy new paint and other equipment. You've managed to sell most of the stuff you've um, salvaged, but as you were waiting for some money to be transferred, you've been called by the owner of the establishment, who has informed you that your weapon has been seized by the local rebels, as Aurel seems to be going through an anti-vampire phase, and, well, he's not paying you shit, making some of you very angry. Well, all of you, really. And we are right now, I believe, 16th of April, 471 evening. No, wait, morning. It's 1 in the morning. As you are just kind of gathering together to discuss the call and decide on your course of actions. Go.
So I think as we were sort of talking about this is probably when our captain also stumbles into the room or comes on in, I don't know. Captain, have you heard the great news yet?
No, it just arrived, but fill me in.
When the green bottles picked up the weapon, it got stolen by the rebels. The green bottles aren't paying us shit and are telling us that we are lucky to even get out this way because apparently it's their connections that saved us from being considered Red Dawn sympathizers that might, be target of peasant mobs or rebel mobs.
I see.
And we were just discussing our options.
Dusha, what have you suggested thus far?
Well, I think what Mr. Greenbottle would really very much like is that we just leave it be the way it is, don't bring him any further trouble. We just take the 20k loss and he doesn't, lose anything. I think we also talked about potentially finding these rebels and talking to them about a cut of what they stole from us. But I don't know.
As you do that, you kind of look at the flyers you've picked up during the day depicting the various anti-red order propaganda.
What about contacting the authorities?
Oh my god.
Wait, did he show the flyers?
Yeah, roll 20. It's at the very top.
Oh.
Nice.
I don't know why I thought about it like the meme. Is this a pigeon?
We could also try going after the rebels ourselves to get our stuff back. We could try involving your contact. I'm sure, or I think, the government might be interested in at least knowing that the rebels have gotten their hand on a ship-grade weapon.
Dan, out of character,
Yes.
getting this weapon in all of its surrounding premises is a legal thing, right? We could have sold and bought it, scrapped it.
Technically, yes.
Technically, yes. Okay.
You're
Right then.
like right now you're unsure how it would have actually gone, considering that the what should we call it? The public opinion about Red Order equipment seems to be a lot worse than you have expected. But yes, you could.
So, there's also the involving the authorities. Just a sec, and he was locked outside.
Speaking of which, as your captain leaves, you do hear an alarm that declares like a proximity alert of somebody approaching your ship, and you do hear a fairly distant like boom, 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 like somebody knocks on your like airlock door a couple times.
Do we have a camera for that? Looking through.
Yes, you do.
Can I just? We
Yes,
probably
let's-
met in the general like captains and pilot and comms place. Can I just like pull up the monitor?
I wouldn't say it
Is
is
it connected
that
by Bluetooth?
interconnected. That's a bit too high tech. That's more proper game rather than what we're going for. So I'd say you'd need to go like to the comm station to check that
Isn't
out.
that also just
The
where we
bridge.
are?
I don't think
that
you're
right
sitting on a
next to-
bridge.
I think we are.
Well, I can
Let's go to the
pull up
bridge.
and tell him.
No, we'll go to the
I
bridge.
think we are in the bridge because when I saw the session, then Lance called everyone through the comms.
To the bridge, yeah.
But I know,
Hmm.
yeah.
Right, maybe. Right, yeah, well,
So yeah,
anyways,
just look
yeah,
at the screen.
you look up on the comms and you kind of see like the end of a pretty like well-built person kind of like walking away from your ship. They appear to have been alone.
He's
Do
walking
they look-
away now?
Do they look
Okay.
in any way recognizable? Like, do we?
Notice check.
Oh boy, notice. One of my favorite skills that tends to be paired with one of my favorite attributes. Sorry, it's like one of the skills that I, in most games, am worst at. I
Confirm.
assume it's wisdom.
Yes, you're pretty sure you've met about a dozen of people looking about the same way on the market.
It's like, yep, that's a person.
It's like,
I can
oh
tell that
right,
from having
that's
seen a few
that
persons in-
code that is in trend right now. Yes.
Should I call him back, Captain?
Yes, please do.
Is there sort of a system to talk to people who are at that door? If we have a camera feed, do we also have the possibility of like talking
Sure.
to the people at the door?
Let's say so.
I was just like, "Hello, sir."
Already gone.
They didn't even turn around when they heard this. Okay.
Like they actually, as they're looking at the cameras, they're like walking away pretty fast. And now that you like take a better look, those of you who actually have good perception, you like see that on the camera's angle's a bit wrong. It's just like something stuck to your door. Oh yes,
Okay.
Like a letter?
piece of paper. Yeah.
Well, I'll go and see what the thing is all about. And I'll go pick it up.
You opens the airlock door, which kind of like slides awkwardly with the paper, and you have to grab it. And you take a look at the paper, and it reads, "It's a trap!" No. And it looks like this.
Okay.
Sorry, don't rush into it. P. Sherman 42 Walbay Way.
An address.
What do you reckon?
Can we tell that?
An apology.
Can we tell that that's an address that's on this island?
Well, one would imagine so, given
Yeah.
that otherwise giving an address would be utterly pointless.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like an apology note.
But I don't think it's Mr. Greenbottle.
I mean, it can be multiple things, and we have no real means of distinguishing them. There's a chance it's a friend who wishes to help out. There's a chance it's an ambush. There's a chance it is an ambush that is intended to be possibly not the last one.
Mm,
Though it would seem the more time-consuming way to actually decide what we're going to do before we are going to check this address. I would still want a solid plan in case we don't go to this place.
Yes, well, I think deciding what to do with the place is secondary to deciding what to do in general. If we're packing up and leaving, then there's hardly a reason to.
Exactly. Do any of you know about these uprising group? How dangerous they are? How fanatic?
no, not really.
No.
Aether just sort of smirks but doesn't say anything.
Any Dan, out of character, do we have a news system like we had in the one shot?
Not functional, but yes.
Not functional. Okay.
Mm.
And we
What
can
do you
only
guys-
take Green Bottle's word about it.
Yeah, I
Don't
mean,
mess with them.
Look, they're organized. They're going to be a lot more than us. They're going to have weapons. They're capable of stealing a ship-grade weapon, so obviously they're going to have weapons. They have not, as far as we know, shown willingness to outright kill when other things can suffice, but given the Green Bottle's reaction, I would not expect this to be completely outside their comfort zone. They are devoted to an ideology and therefore very unlikely to be friendly to interlopers unless we declare firmly for their cause, which I'm sorry, but given yourself, Captain, seems unlikely to happen.
That's a good question, actually. I think the moment we get involved, we pick a side.
Well, obviously, you're always picking a side.
I think
we
there's a
could just
different
leave.
version of this too. There's the boring version too, where what we did with the weapon we were in possession of isn't illegal, and it was stolen from us while Green Bottle had his hands on it and planning to make a sale. I'm not sure, but mayhaps we could also try and go through the government just as Mr. Greenbottle.
I mean, we
For his
absolutely broke
negligence.
Lance. We absolutely broke the law.
Which law? I don't know what you're talking
Failing to declare that we're bringing in a ship-grade weapon.
Didn't we?
about. No, that was on the manifesto.
That was in the paperwork I've assigned.
Yes.
What? Why?
Why not?
Why
It's
not?
illegal.
That just seems troublesome.
I mean, you're flying at least 2 more ship-grade weapons.
Yes,
Functional
I'm not planning
ones
on
too.
selling
That
those.
one is broken.
Is it a
Just
habit of yours to
sensible
always
question.
try and avoid the law?
She sort of sputters. I find it best to avoid attracting attention when I can. Whether from the law or anyone else.
Right. So it seems we're dealing with an organized group with a lot more firepower than we currently have. And with the upper hand in any negotiations, we might as well consider. Going up one-on-one with them is, of course, out of the question. I won't risk the lives for a merely sum of credits.
I mean, it isn't a measly sum, though, is it?
How much is your life worth then, Lance?
That's betting on us losing, which I would never do.
Even so, it's
Right,
pertinent
so-
information. Winnell, do you know how the organ markets rates are around these parts?
Probably does.
One does not buy
It's more
organs.
about the merit and not the material.
That's not
But
how
that
we
leaves
work.
us with the three options. Oh, well, for now at least. Go through the government or the officials, or leave it. Just take the loss. And that's the two options I see, and the third one is still in works in my head.
I'll just put it out there. I'm actually curious what they would have to say. Because looking back at the ship, what happened there doesn't sit right with me.
do you
I
mean?
think they have a point. They might be extreme.
Careful, you'll get kicked off the ship for sedition, talking like that.
No,
It's just another option.
Even if you don't want to talk to him straight away, at least doing some sort of reconnaissance.
no, there is a merit in talking to them, I guess. Though it won't be negotiations. It's just gonna be for reconnaissance, like you
Yeah, there's
mentioned.
nothing to
It'll be for
negotiate.
information.
We don't have anything anymore apart from threats, which is not the place you want to
Mm,
start
which
out
we
with.
which we do not have, to in all frank.
Empty threats.
Right. So, all in favor to go and actually talk to them? Raise your hand.
Okay.
Is that the only one?
I'm kind of half and half. I want to talk to him, but I was thinking more reconnaissance.
Oh, spying.
Sure, yeah, I'll raise my hand to that.
I'll actually raise my hand to that as well. A diplomatic approach.
Buying
No officials
diplomatic.
yet.
I mean, walkie-talkie, that the diplomatic approach would be fucking the fuck off, given that guns have been drawn and our guns taken.
Well, I just want to say to that, you mentioned it's a measly sum of money, but Aether, I always think that I really can't get them out of my head. Those beautiful workers at the docks that earn 5 credits a day, it really hurts me. It's like I can't think about 20,000 credits
Oh,
or
I
so.
didn't say it was a measly amount. That was Lance.
No,
said
that
it
was
wasn't one, but
that
he-
was me, but I've compared it to the
Oh,
lives of people.
You're practically interchangeable.
Exactly. I'll take that as a compliment.
Yes, it is to Winnell. No, but all joking matters is took you a while, didn't it? All joking aside, you were right with your earlier point. We're risking our lives for what? Money. We're already willing to rob, steal, and potentially murder. We didn't know that it was only undead aboard those ships for money. So, since we're already taking the coward's way, the villain's way, why risk ourselves in a bad fight?
You see us in a very bad light, and I do not see that situation at all the same.
agreed.
You don't think we're bad people, Captain?
No, not at all.
What bad things have we done, per se?
The only killing we've done is in self-protection. The only goods we've got is by hard working. You make it sound like we're thieves in the night.
It's
we
terribly
need to
hard
volunteer.
work to break into someone's property and take their things. And when they then draw on you in defense of their property, murdering them, oh yes, that certainly is self-defense. Captain, the sophistry does you no favors.
No one was in ownership of that place. And the undead are
Really?
merely just tools.
Really? You don't think your precious order has a vested interest in a place where it still keeps that amount of material?
I think we've established that it was a probably renegade vampire that opposes the order that made his home there.
Oh, well, potentially.
Bless you.
Potentially so, but, his property then?
Mm-hmm.
Certainly used to be. Yeah.
And
All I'm
personally,
saying is we're amoral in our ventures here.
you think? I mean, personally, I think we did the remaining undead presence a favor by releasing them. I mean, they were people at some point, and I don't think any of them volunteered for this.
I mean,
And
if we were so dreadfully moral, don't you think we'd have focused rather more on the potentially living bodies in those sarcophagi?
Well, that's derailing the conversation a bit.
Yes, I'm starting a fight with you to get out of the fight you're starting with me. Dreadfully domestic tactic, you'll have to forgive me.
Apology accepted. Right then, so the only non-threatening threat that we have which won't work is talking to them and threatening to go through official channels, which won't do us any good. But that is the course I'm thinking about taking without even threatening, just talking to them, see what we can get out to them. And if nothing really goes, then we just report to the government and then just keep in our way.
what do they want?
Power.
I think they want allies. And I think they want to
Strange
talk.
way to gain.
You know what might be a nice idea? To at least get an idea of who we got, from who we got that last letter. Is
Do we
there
have
a
facial
way...
recognition
No,
technology in our...
do we have a camera feed that we can watch back?
Yes, you would, yes.
Good shit.
Any faces?
Can we like play it back and look at the person that's pinning this?
Sure, but I will need notice checks from everybody who's...
All right. Is notice wisdom, intelligence? What is
Wisdom.
it?
Can we just say that all of us are, or only some of us?
I
are
mean,
watching?
I assume all of you are watching.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that all of you are trying.
I don't think I'm good at this, so...
Ether's like half-assing it.
Just tell me when you're done rolling, because I don't know if there's a delay
The only important one that actually needs to notice it is actually Winnel, because he can
Okay, then,
replicate his face.
Okay, then I'll. Actually, there's a rule for that. If we're gonna go that route.
Oh, you need to actually notice him first.
So
There's a rule for
notice-
that, which technically means you would not have been able to
Okay.
change the lense's face straight away, but yeah. Alright. Is it everybody? 3 rolls?
I think
One more.
No?
Nice.
I don't know.
There we go.
Okay, so... Trying to remember if you... Right. So, definitely Miles, because I was there. No, actually, Miles wasn't there. In that case, I guess Winnow, you'll be the only one. You recognize basically one of the porters from the Green Dog.
You're mute. Oh, no.
A worker from the dock? Say again, please.
One of the porters from the Green Dog. One of the guys that brought over your purchases and hauled away the weapon.
Oh, okay.
And now that you think about it, like the appearance of this flyer was basically like minutes after the call with Filer. So maybe it's a guy he sent over to, you know, tell you where to go if you want to go on, but the conversation was kind of more angry than Filer has expected, so the call ended before.
Bueno, I must admit I think I was wrong when you said they were looking for allies. Seems they're looking just for that.
One way to find out.
What a way to gain allies with stealing others' property. Right, so the
Right.
question now about the
It's weird.
address.
I'm sorry, how are you getting them looking for allies from this?
Oh, it's obviously some people that work in the green bottle industry. They're also from these insurrectionists.
Well, yeah, that one was clear from the start, right? Because
Right.
how else would they have gotten the information otherwise, really? But
And then inviting us. Why
that
else invite
depends
us?
that depends on who sent this. This could be Green Bottle saying, yeah, don't come after me for your 20k, you just go into this den hole instead, you know? Oh, I'm so sorry about your 20k, here, have an address instead. Good luck. Doesn't need to be anyone from that organization.
How would Green Bottle know about the address of a undercover organization, insurrectionist group?
Whoever he has working for him might, because I'm sure he wasn't too pleased either when it got stolen.
Green Bottle lives here. He's not an
Yeah.
idiot. If there's an insurrectionist group, they're going to make it public knowledge where to find them. Otherwise, people can't find them.
Do you think Green Bottle got any profits out of this stealing from your phone call with him?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't say.
I mean, it says don't rush into it, so maybe it's just
Oh.
Seems like a
from Mr. Greenbottle telling us here's how to get it back, and they don't want to talk.
Seems like a frankly ridiculous situation to be on the take. I mean, come now, he's not really in a business where it makes sense to be dealing with these people, does it? Unless he thinks they're about to win, which doesn't quite seem.
No, his business seems way too island to make sense of this. Connections would be better for him.
I mean, we could just gather some intel.
Yeah.
Watch the place.
I mean, at the moment, we're dealing with a 20k loss anyway, right? Might as well see if there's anything to be done, and if there isn't, then, well, there isn't. And we cut our loss and scuttle the place. Buy some equipment, go back, see what's in the vault. Still on the table.
Right. Do we expect to be patted down at the place?
Probably.
I mean, there are two options. Either they do want to talk, or that's where the stuff is, and they'll kill us on sight, pretty much. So maybe we should look before we decide.
A quick question, because some of them, since one of them at least, is associated with this, one of his workers, they might recognize one or multiple of us. Doc, you
don't-
have... Sorry, go ahead.
Someone gave us an address. Someone's expecting us to turn up. If someone they don't know turns up, they're going to figure they're affiliated with us. I don't think disguises are called for in this situation. Better to go as us, as obvious as possible now, so that if we need to go later, we can go disguised and they won't see it coming.
Well, what about a cat? Are they? We could go in as a cat.
Can you do a bunch of checking?
I think people might notice a herd of felines.
Yeah, we'll need to pick a better animal for that.
The
The doctor's just browsing in a book right now.
What I think is we are moving too slow. Like, honestly, we'll probably see more if we just go there. Not like, we don't need to like barge in, but we walk by, we see this is a storage hall, and we're like, okay, yeah, this is probably where they keep the weapon. It's a pub where we probably a gathering place. We'll learn a lot more if we just, pass by.
Mhm.
How about we...
But Daru suggested the reconnaissance.
Yes, let's go do that now. And then decide from there.
Out of character, we're not allowed to walk around with weapons, right? Like
Officially,
in the
no.
city, in this. Yeah, officially not. Okay.
Okay.
So we leave our weapons here on the ship.
Or
Well, you
What
obviously
if-
can try and conceal like encumbrance one weapon. Only conceal encumbrance two weapon.
what if two of us went scouting?
It's the city. Look,
Yeah.
if we go, we go. If we don't go, we don't. Let's not do any kind of fancy splitting up and getting ourselves black-backed and murdered.
Alright, we'll just we can leave our weapons here. It's not big of a deal. If you have maybe a knife, or I have a knife, I'll try and bring with me. We would just stay on some sort of building. I have a set of binoculars. Just find some building on, opposite the address. Do that first.
Yeah, and as long as we're staying, as everyone's staying close to me, you don't need a weapon. We can get out before they will likely be able to kill any of
Yes.
us.
Mm-hmm.
I have two questions for Dan.
Suddenly, you lose an
first.
execution attacks. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, no. If I were to roll a dice to determine how well I cook, would that go under work?
Yes.
Survive? Okay,
Work.
work. Okay.
If you're trying to cook a wild
And-
animal in a wild environment, it would be survival.
Okay. And the other question is there any use for a thermal knife in the kitchen?
I'm pretty sure you have a thermal sword, not a knife.
I have a thermal knife also.
Uh,
I just never use it because it's a less damage weapon, but you need to conceal
let's put it
something.
that way. Yes, thermal knives are very nice. It is a cut and toast, but there's a difference between a kitchen thermal knife and a weapon thermal knife, and they are not really interchangeable. Obviously, you hiding a knife is very likely, and unless you attract too much attention, like. So far, it doesn't seem like the police are basically like patting down absolutely everybody. And honestly, you can even hide like a pistol in your pants, and most likely you'll
Yeah.
pass unnoticed. unless there's some technology or magical search involved. So it's more a question of
Are you or are you not?
Shall we go then?
Actually,
I thought about maybe having a probable cause of carrying a knife.
actually, Lance, when you say you can get us out, how far out can you get us?
Probably back to this ship. And if not, then certainly out the door, and quite a ways away from the door.
Jolly good. I'll bring my gun then. If anyone catches me with it, well, I know what to do.
I'm not exposing myself until we get into mortal danger. Just a FYI.
Me too. And I'll turn into a cat.
right. There's a spell slot.
Oh shit!
So I'll.
It's not oh shit. It's
So Ether's going to put her gun in her bag because it's a bag. She's allowed to carry a bag. No one's
yes.
gonna know that
I
there's a
mean,
gun.
I'm pretty sure like every second woman carries a gun in her handbag. Otherwise, why is it so heavy?
Did we buy TL4 bags?
We can go shopping on the way if you want. We have not shopped yet.
No.
technically.
Haven't you bought
not-
all
it's
like
not,
backpack and everything last session?
No, not backpacks. We bought a few things, but not everything.
That
We only
should be
bought the
first
things we bought from Green Bottle.
Huh.
Because we didn't say we were going shopping
Right.
otherwise.
True.
We didn't
Okay.
have the
Can go
money
shopping
at
now,
that
yeah.
point.
Well-
Yeah, let's go
well-
shopping now. Let's just purchase the entire shopping list now.
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. Well, there, said and done.
Yeah, just like that. We just say we purchase what was
I mean, you
on
spend
there,
half a day on it, but you do it. Yeah.
Mhm.
the green part,
Okay,
and then we
but-
have it.
So I will go with a concealed knife. I'll leave the monoblade sword. That's what it's called, I think. Yeah, monoblade sword at the ship.
I'm gonna conceal my pistol.
For people, are you considering your pistol as readied or stowed?
Pistol or knife?
Is he frozen? Am I frozen? He's frozen.
Am I
He's
frozen?
frozen. Yes,
Oh,
he's
his
frozen.
camera's frozen. But he's
Oh,
But
Straight,
we can
okay.
hear you.
oh, there we go.
Yeah. there
Like
you
so,
go.
either you're hiding your pistol in the bag, so it's stowed.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, I figure it's a bit hard to disguise it while readied. So.
Yeah, like if you have it in the bag, you don't need to like hide it. But like if you're trying to hide it on your belt, like being readied, then you need to roll me like a stealth check or whatever it's called in the system. I don't know, by the fan.
Okay, so everyone who does not have a TL4 backpack yet can put one in. That is a
Cool.
group purchase we are doing.
Oh.
And then,
So can we get rid of the encumbrance from the normal backpack?
Yes.
yes.
Yay!
He had a fancy backpack, hooray.
Ethan needs like a backpack with helium balloons to give a negative encumbrance.
Yeah,
You already had
No.
a fancy backpack?
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
I did.
Me too.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I know. I knew about you. I didn't know about Ethan.
Okay.
I am detracting those 50 credits back to our account.
Heck yeah. But yeah, no. I might at some point when I've decided that she has had enough physiotherapy and help from Winnel and stuff to justify it. I might increase the strength score by 1, but it'll be a while before I'm willing to take that step.
Which score?
Strength.
Strength,
Strength. Okay.
because right now her strength is through the floor. She's got an encumbrance of 1.
Hmm.
Alright. I had nobody saying anything, so I assume everybody who tried to hide their weapon did so stowed. And you did all the purchases, so handle your balance, I don't care. Now it's let's say around 2 p.m. Are you heading for the address?
Yeah, let's go check it out. Like
Nice.
walk by. That kind of
So
thing.
let's say as you were shopping around, you kind of asked about like not the exact address, but like the street, just to get an idea where to go. And it's actually not very far away from here. It's about 2 kilometers away from the docks. It's like the docks, and you're in the official part of docks, and goes like private docks, or like commercial docks, like in bottle dock. Then starts the private docks, and this area is basically behind the private docks, so like warehouse and maintenance area with a lot of like small workshops and even like private garages or warehouses, storages units, and it's somewhere in there. So on the bright side, it should be not super populated. On the non-bright side, it's not gonna be very populated. But yeah, as you do the walk and approach the area, you basically like see 2 rows of like housing units, not housing units, of storage units, and they basically like have big like yellow numbers painted on the doors that designate the number. And yours was what, 42, right?
Yes, or 44. I don't remember.
Well,
42, yeah.
something.
42.
So you assume you need to like walk down the line, and 44 is gonna be.
Well, it's not far from the ship. It is a storage place. No one seems to be outside guarding it.
Are you going there? Because it's fairly open space.
But I thought. Oh, okay. I thought we were like right next to it.
You're at the start of the street,
Yeah.
and you need to go 22 storage units down, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Can we see like activity from this?
I mean, it's not empty. There are like a couple of the units have like the doors open or the windows open, and you hear like sounds from inside, like sounds of somebody like working on something inside, like some kind of metal grinding sounds. You see like a couple people hanging in front of one of the storage units, like the doors completely open, and you see like one person like racing flyer half disassembled inside, and it's basically like a bunch of guys kind of like, yeah, we're gonna go fix our flyer here. But you actually like even see like 2 like 12-year-old about so kids like run by with long metal rods they really shouldn't be running around with, pretending they're swords.
Well, if there's windows, I could go up to. I could sort of sleuth my way towards that warehouse and have a peek through the window.
Oh, the window are more like, you know, like kind of a house.
They're high up.
high
They're
up,
not.
They're for
okay.
ventilation, not for observation, and for
Okay.
light, so like skylight windows.
Hmm.
Oh,
These
window.
things These things are all connected, right?
No. They're all individual.
The individual warehouses, no?
There's even like some space between them. Like some of them are like wall to wall, but a lot of them have like a small, like
Small
1
space.
meter, 2 meter pathway between them, with usually a lot of rubbish in that alley. We know you're so cute.
We did get a grapnel launcher, didn't we?
You did?
Shoot up onto the roof of the
No, we
warehouse.
did not buy that one.
Oh, you didn't?
That
Oh,
was
we only got the green.
Yes, only got the green shit. I
You
think
can
I-
go back any moment. You can just turn around and go shopping again.
We can also just
Daddy.
we can also just say that we went shopping and that was included, and you know, get some
Sure.
system stress or not.
Darling, if assuming you're talking out loud to the rest of the group about the idea
Yeah.
of grapnel hooks and stuff,
Sure.
let's maybe not commit any more crimes than absolutely necessary in full public view.
I'm sorry, Dalu, but we forgot your black leather suit on the ship.
Oh, fair enough. But what I'd expect you to say something like, "Well, only if we're caught," or something like that.
Can also. Can the cat understand us, do you think? Probably, right? He can probably understand us while he's a cat. So I
He's
see the
nodding.
cat-
He's nodding.
I see the cat nodding. I'm like, I'm not sure though. And as I look at it, maybe it's trying to tell us something else. So the cat could wander on by, and we can
Give him a
show
pet.
you. We can have a drink, wait for the cat to take a stroll.
To be fair, like small, smallish animals are fairly popular. Like you've seen a bunch of stray cats around, especially in this area, a bunch of stray dogs around. So, like, a cat will not be super suspicious.
As long as
Unless
doesn't
that cat,
stare
like,
through the
starts
window.
riding down.
Could a cat climb up to the windows?
We'll have to find out. I mean, it's doable, but I'm pretty sure, like,
Interesting.
like it's not D&D shape change. It's like you just look like an animal. You don't gain climbing speed. You don't get cat grace or anything. You only look like an animal. Behaving
Do,
like
I don't get cat voice.
well,
That's a fair
Oh,
question
so
right
dark.
there.
not quite like that. I think. I think
I
it's
really
the
hope
same.
I really hope you get cat voice, because if you don't get cat voice, you're going to sound super creepy.
Hey guys.
Even creepier.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
How
Cat
high are
voice.
these warehouses? How tall are they?
About 3 meters tall before the roof starts, and then like another 2 meters, like more like about 2
Sure.
meters for the roof.
And 1-0 away from being really high.
What if? Okay, just hear me out for a second. So just saying this not in character for the moment. If we take like some sort of sheet to assist us, and we essentially catapult Winnel in cat form on a sheet up to the top of the roof, so that he can look through the skylight.
How about we knock?
I think you all need to get a little more used to, having me around. If the kitty wants to stand on a bag of litter, the bag of litter will start flying upwards, and it'll be on the roof in no time. Let's just find a quiet corner. That'll be no issue.
All right.
I'm just imagining like Lance picking up the cat, walking around the corner, checking to see no one's watching, and just fucking yeeting it.
Yeah.
I wish I could, but I'm not that strong. I don't think I can toss a cat up there.
You can't toss a cat 3. Like it's not even 3 meters up. You just need to throw him like 1 meter up, because you yourself are like 1.5 meters tall, and then you need.
That probably works, actually.
And he's not this cat. He's like the normal 4-kilo cat.
Yeah, but is his weight the same as the cat, or does he just look?
No.
like the cat?
Like so, the spell says it grants no changes to your attributes and minds, only the pure external seeming of the creature. So, like, what it means, it basically gives you no benefits of a cat. Oh, more like it's more about it doesn't give you a benefit of being a horse or a bird, so you can't fly, you can't like carry heavy stuff, but like your shape, your weight, all of that does change.
So if he would turn into a fish, he wouldn't be able to breathe underwater.
I think fish is like one of the few exceptions.
It says no smaller than a cat. So
Oh yeah.
Large fish.
big, big fish maybe. I don't know.
They're
But
very
no,
large.
I wouldn't get any benefits.
Whatever.
I mean, I guess I can still walk.
Whatever. I'm just bringing this cat into the closest alleyway. Look around if someone is in here, and if not, I'll look for the closest piece of trash that seems like it would support the weight of this cat, and then just lift the cat up
Right? Yeah.
on it.
Cat
Scratches the
is,
fuck out of it.
the cat is on the roof.
Excellent, go cat.
Okay, cat mode activated. I'll try to get close to number 40 something. 42.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, well, yeah, sure. So you kind of walk around the roof and like go for one of those windows. They are closed, but they are semi-transparent if you assume, not if you assume, if you count for the dirt. But they exist, and you can like walk up to one of them. You're inside, and you see fairly dim lit warehouse that has like some lights on inside. And like these warehouses, like storage places are not super big. They're like about 20-25 meters long and like 15 meters across. So it's more like it's enough to like work on a small spaceship, but flyer, but not too long. And you like look down to this one window. You kind of like see a couple rows of crates on shelves, kind of like haphazardly stacked together. And you right now like looking at area that has some caution markings and the number like 1 painted on it. And kind of like can see to the side that there's like one more and like a third area, and the third area seems to be lit the best. But even just like looking through this window down right now, you can like see the entrance door, and see close to it looks like a long desk with what's it called, data slab, the PC version device on it, as like a young lady is sitting behind it like working on something. And from your position to the left and behind her, there's like a sofa, and 2 guys are kind of like sitting on the sofa and laughing about something. Both of them have weapons, but they are like basically like enchanted crossbows and handbows kind of weapons. So not too advanced.
All right.
So in all this warehouse, he hasn't seen the weapon.
No,
not from his
weapon?
current position.
Even with the cat vision,
I mean,
which I still
Cat
have up.
gives you absolutely no vision.
I know, but the other one, the 10,000 senses change, I still have that vision change up.
Do you?
Hmm.
Did you remember to take down the spell slot?
Yes, but I think that was at least a day ago.
It was more ago. That was back on the vampire's place where you did
Yeah,
it.
it was.
More than a day?
I can.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. How many changes do you have?
3 currently running, and I can have 4. So level plus cast magic.
Ah.
And if it's not supported, then it
Yeah,
runs
yeah,
out
yeah, yeah.
most of like after an hour or something.
Um,
Assuming Dalus' face is still
yeah,
changed.
well, like from
You
your
can
current
see
what it
windows
was.
that you're looking at, you just don't have the angle on like the
Okay.
top right of the warehouse, so you'll like need to walk over on the roof and look through another window if you want.
And I guess
Um,
cat stuff.
do make me stealth charisma check,
Charisma.
just to see how suspicious you look as a cat.
He found my weakness.
I mean, you're pretending, so I think it's charisma.
Sneak, right?
Yes, stealth. Stealth, sneak, I don't know.
Stealth with charisma. Meow.
That's Gonna be
Yeah.
Watch this.
Don't go red
Holy
ball
shit.
Wow.
now.
Well done.
6 and a 5.
Yeah.
That's -1
Good.
still.
So you kind of like you saunter over to that window and like you touch it with your paw and it's pretty warm. Like the glass has warmed up in the sun, while the steel of the roof is actually fairly uncomfortable. And you just like plop onto it, pressing your cat balls against the glass as they do, and you just like start like pretending like you're licking your arm while you're like looking under your armpit down. And right now you're right above, like you see the marking like bay 3, area 3 at the bottom, and you see in the bay, like taking up all of it pretty much, is the partially disassembled weapon that you've salvaged, with that long coil of piping that you had to remove from the ship. And you see that it has been attached to some sort of portable generator. Like cables are running from the generator into the weapon, and there are 2 people like working around it. Make me a notice check. Now we're talking a bit more about having to look at details from a couple of meters away.
So that's vision. So can I add the +2?
Yeah, sure.
Wisdom, right?
Yes.
Always. Okay.
Not always, but in this case, yes.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, the 2 people working on it, like one of them is a pretty like big orc, was dressed in like working overalls, and it's kind of like wiping his hands on cloth as he was sitting in the, like, let's say, weapon capacitator device thingy. And the other one is orcish or half orcish female, who's kind of like working with the weapons, like arcane programming part. And you also see a bit to the side, like chilling on the ladder, that kind of, not ladder, but like staircase that leads not quite to the 2nd floor, because there's no 2nd floor, but like up to the roof. There's another woman just like sitting on the staircase, her legs bending, like looking around, and she's the first person you've seen here who seems to have like some sort of combat armor on, and an organ gun in her hands.
An organ gun.
Yeah.
Okay. Would I know what that is? Big gun.
It's
Okay.
basic and automatic projectile weapon. Yeah,
Okay.
it's in the book I've sent.
Okay. Yeah. And there's just the one door.
Yeah. You think like actually you would know that there's like a hatch to the roof. On the other side, basically where you are, like on the other slope of the roof. But aside from the windows and that hatch, yeah, there's only one door. And like the woman actually like notices you over there, but she kind of like looks for you for a bit and kind of goes,
I just keep cleaning.
yeah, because you're a cat, you don't care.
Okay, then I think I'll go back
Huh?
when I'm done cleaning.
Do you get off the roof yourself?
Yeah.
Roll me an athletics check. Or exert.
Exert. Dex?
Dex or strength, whichever you prefer. I think that's good enough. You kind of like go like it. Kind of like try to like get like down the wall, like halfway fall, and then kick yourself off the wall and kind of like land on the ground, with Lance kind of like chilling in the shadows, waiting for you. He didn't say he wasn't.
Sure. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Is there anyone around? Like
Not
us
where
right
you are
now?
right now. You're in the alley.
Okay, then I guess I'll have to drop the cat to talk.
I mean, if you want to talk right next to the warehouse you've been scouting, then sure.
Aren't they down the street, like 40 numbers?
Um,
Not that.
Everybody.
fancy.
grab your
I'll-
screen.
I mean, okay, if we're right around the corner, then I'll
Like
just,
basically like street,
I'll just
right? Yeah. Like let's
Okay.
say this is 42. You're in the cell over here.
okay.
Oh,
No,
we're
then
that
I'll
close.
follow Lance.
Oh, we are that close. I was not aware of the risk I was giving myself. Okay. Yes, then great. Let's walk away.
I mean, I assumed you didn't want Vinal to jump from one roof to another roof.
I mean,
know,
it sounded like they were pretty adjacent to each other, but
From the closest
Depends.
connected one.
Depends.
it happened. So
It's already done.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll walk
So you
on
can
back.
like walk back to your friends.
So, what'd you see?
and when there's nobody watching, I'll drop the cat.
Lovely.
You monster!
Cats can be dropped,
Yes, it's okay. to
even
drop
with
them.
a peanut butter thing on their back. Doesn't matter. So yeah, it's in there, but it's guarded. They at least have 2 armed guards, one with combat armor and a really weird gun. So it looks really interesting. I think it's one of those organ guns.
John.
Anyway,
How many people
they-
did you see? In
so
total?
there were 2 working on it. They were disassembling it. Big orc. Actually, did the big guy? It didn't look familiar. Like it wasn't one of green bottles.
Green Bottle did have orcs working. You're not sure. Like,
Okay.
All orcs look
Anyway,
the same to you.
big orc working.
I mean, to be fair, it's pretty
disassembling
hard to recognize people when you're staring at them directly from above.
it. No.
And also
uh,
when you met at once.
So 2 working on it. 1 big orc, 1 female half orc, I think. And they are in the process of disassembling it. And
more like
it's
repairing,
connected to a
but yeah.
portable or repairing. And it's connected to a portable generator. And there was 1 person armed sitting on the sofa next to the door entrance.
2.
2. Wasn't the combat armor person on the other side?
Yes.
Okay. So that's 5 people in total.
They've seen at least one more lady. Like, civilian-looking lady.
Hmm.
Which one is that?
The one that
She
was
was-
working on the data slab.
On the desk, sorry, yeah. So we're up to 6 people. 3 armed right now. 1 lady working on a data slab.
Anyone looking important or that runs the show?
I mean, the female in the back had the most armor, and the biggest weapon, but couldn't tell you. I mean, 2 were just sitting on the sofa.
Oh, you know, one very important detail about her.
Very important to Don.
Mm-hmm.
Did I freeze?
No? I
No.
don't think so.
Go on.
The woman with the armor? Anyway, she likes cats. That's
Had an
We could use
interaction
that.
with her.
excuse me?
Did you have an interaction with her?
She saw a cat and waved at a cat. I don't know why you would wave at a cat, but
Wouldn't be.
she looked. I didn't wave back.
Did you?
I
Yeah,
just said-
that was my next question.
That would have been awesome.
Now, if you roll the sneak one, it would have been like she waves at you, you wave back and go, "Oh meow!"
Oh meow.
Well, 6 people is a lot.
Especially if they're expecting combat, if they're armed and armored.
I was gonna say, especially if there's a 20-ton weapon in there that we aren't transporting out and fast.
Yeah.
Admittedly, but
We could... Sorry, go on.
armed and armored. Armored worries me so much more than armed. Anyone can be armed. Only the very serious are armored.
Did it look like our weapon was easily movable, like on some sort of, a hovering pallet, like we've seen at the docks?
It's a ship-mounted weapon. It is not easily movable.
Well, is it just lying on the ground, or is it on some sort of contraption of any kind?
Couldn't tell you, but I think getting it out of there wouldn't be quick.
Mm-hmm.
No, we would be most likely after the credits themselves and not the weapon.
So this is an excellent opportunity, I have to say. We know where it is. We know they are doing illegal things, like in possession of weapons in open carry. They probably shouldn't be. And we also know that it was stolen from us. We have literally everything we need to go to the authorities.
How do we prove that they are doing illegal things, though? You can be in possession with such a weapon in the city if you traded it.
You can?
I mean, we've been. We've
I
had it
mean-
listed as one of our goods.
Also, can we actually tell that it was, prove that it was stolen? All we can sort of prove is we sold it to a merchant. And what if the merchant isn't on our side in terms of saying it was
Well,
stolen?
then I'm gonna show them our bank balance, and then he's gonna owe us 20k if he's saying he's not stolen.
He could always say it was part of a different transaction. Either way, do we know for certain that these people aren't working with interests within government?
It seems opposing
Within-
the government.
What do you think? Oh no! It's opposing the main stance of the government, but that's not mean that there are not forces within government that supports it. Hypocrites who will be the next stop against the wall once the revolution come about, but useful idiots for now.
I had an idea which was quite risky. I'll just throw it out there, but I'm actually not fond of doing it yet. But was to just simply try and get access to that data pad that you mentioned. Maybe there's some network in the warehouse. Try and get some more info. And then another idea was, and this is where it gets a bit even more ambitious, was to say that there's anonymously from another source via message on the data pad, if possible, that there are people coming up to get information on the cargo, collect it. Maybe that, seems quite
Elaborate.
I prefer
yeah,
Lance's
very
plan.
complex.
Lance's plan was good. I was just being obnoxious about it.
It also just stops us getting meddled into things going on in this.
No, I don't think it does. I think.
Well, more so
It
than
does
what
it.
I was saying. Anyway.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your own plan.
Oh, Lance's one, yeah. Lance's one stops getting interwoven into all this mess.
But on another level, it does feel personal, doesn't it? Them taking what we repossessed before them.
No, not particularly.
You want to send a message to this
Oh
organization?
no, I wasn't intending on it. It's just
Look, sometimes you blow up a restaurant and some people die, and it may feel very personal to the families, but really, they just happened to be there and they were useful.
I mean, I understand that perspective, but I also understand the family's perspective of it being very personal and going after the people who did that. Wouldn't you? Were it you?
I think taking the short-sighted route is tempting to everyone, but seldom productive.
Did Greenbottle warn about going to the authorities?
He heavily advised against escalating the situation.
Isn't your friend who we got this ship from a government official?
He's a government official? No, I don't think so.
Yes.
He's a trade, no? He's a government official?
He's not just a government official, he's very high up the chain. How did you think you got a bloody ship written off? Well, it wasn't bloody, it
Okay,
was
sorry.
very fresh and clean. He is a minister
I
of
would like-
external affairs. That's very important. That's most likely as close to
Oh,
military
okay.
as you can get from the outside.
Hmm. Is he on Arello or is he on another?
He's an Aurelio, yes.
Okay.
Like, you actually get a feeling that if somebody's not gonna be in on this, then most likely it's this guy, because especially with the deal you've made, he's got a lot to lose if the rebellion wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We could have a meeting.
I mean,
Hmm.
sounds like going home to mommy.
We're going to be government stooges. That just sounds delightful.
Oh, my toys.
I can't
It's
help
the
but
safe
agree.
way. But I thinking about it, Dalus' plan sounds
How
complicated but cool, because if they repair the weapon for us, and then we just pick it up.
Dallas' plan has one huge problem: you can't distance hack a device.
Yeah, you need to get
You
next
need
to it.
to
and
be
line
at
shot, yeah.
least within line of sight, and you don't have the laser uplink that you need to do that.
And there's
We
no
can cats
like
hack.
network of
We
in
have
the warehouse.
we have
is there?
line shunts that we could maybe get somewhere close to a wall.
Well,
if we
line
knew
shunts
where
need
it
to be
was running.
placed direct on the device for it to be hacked.
In a close
Oh.
proximity. Close
Is there a network in the warehouse? I assume no, because it's not very complicated of a building. Okay, that's fine.
I mean, her
Like,
datapad might be
it's a
connected.
personal device not connected to anything.
Yeah. Okay.
And, like, again,
Yes.
this is not a world that has Wi-Fi. You can't hack it by Wi-Fi. And it's exactly
Also,
like, yeah.
it's a device that doesn't have connection. I think any subtlety in misdirection would go out the window the moment we manage to send a message to her device which does not have external connection.
Let me ask a different question, because there are different things that we might be going after here, and if we are not clear on what our goal is, then we are not clear on the approach. Do we want our weapon back? Or the equivalent in money? Because that's already a different thing that might be acquired in a different way. Do you guys want to talk to these people? and perhaps risk us ever getting the weapon or the credits for it back. What's your intent?
Oh man, how does is there like I know there's these like this group that's anti Red Dawn sympathists. But how do Red Dawn sympathists are looked at in the public, in the general public?
Well, they are usually part of the government,
Usually part of the government. Okay,
and they're usually looked at as corrupt pigs.
heroes as corrupt. No, yeah, by the general.
And based on the deal you have on one of those pigs, they aren't really wrong about them.
I mean, it's just helping out some scrappers. I was thinking about going to the authorities and perhaps having a good name with them. Speaking to this group is now that Will came with information is least appealing to me.
I mean, maybe the two guys on the couch didn't look. They had very simple weapons. Maybe we take them out and walk back in as them, and then we talk.
And completely fail to adopt their mannerisms, their anything, and she suspects. Oh, maybe she doesn't suspect that they've been replaced, but she suspects that they've been
No,
subverted.
I mean, the others can walk in like 5 minutes later, and then we have.
Look, I have
maybe
no
one
particular
armed.
horse in this game, in this race. If we decide to go and get ourselves killed for some stupid reason, I will be right there beside you. Getting myself killed for some stupid reason wouldn't be, well, it would be the first time, I suppose, but just about. Look, I'll go along with whatever, but I'm still going to point out whatever flaws I see. I assume the rest
Just
of you
like some
are,
justice, but I'm
I
fine.
assume the rest of you are somewhat more attached
About
to your
we go to
lives.
the officials, tell them about this place, and they can keep the weapon for a nice and symbolic discount we'll give them for this
Mm-hmm.
gun or weapon. Is that
You're muted too.
good?
So all you want is favor from this government.
Well, favor and the money, the
I
credits.
mean, if we're getting any off of that, but he. I mean, I don't. Honestly, this whole rebels versus government thing here doesn't particularly concern me.
I don't see this as personal per se. I just see this as a thing we need to deal with. We had goods, we've got them stolen, we want the money and or the credits worth back.
I mean, this is gonna end one of two ways. Either the Red Dawn is gonna take over this system, or there's a rebellion. I don't think it's gonna stay that way. And it's pretty close to home, so I'm a little bit concerned, actually.
Meet the new regime, mostly same as the old regime. Somewhat more monochromatic color scheme. Well, dichromatic, I suppose. There's a lot of black in there too.
you want to be involved in this as much as possible.
Are you asking me?
Yes.
I don't know. It just feels wrong to support this government, just to me personally.
Think about it. Think about it less of the support and more about taking what we deserve. We've salvaged that weapon.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, I'll go along with the group, but I'm concerned. That's all. That talking is dangerous,
Right.
I guess.
So, any hard objections for the plan?
I mean, just one more piece in there. This weapon, if it's taken back, is not going to be what's gonna make the difference in if the Red Dawn takes over this place or not. It'll give this rebellion some energy, maybe, but even then, nothing that.
This gun is
On
not
an
the.
isle this size, a laser like that doesn't do anything.
No, but I imagine the people will face some consequences.
Sure. And if it's a popular movement within this populace, then others will take their place quickly. Unless they are entirely unreplaceable, but I do not get that impression as of. I don't think it fucks with anything. If we get our shit back.
Same here.
Oh, absolutely. If they're a rebel group worth their salt, losing a single cell is not going to do anything. And if they're not, well, then we're hardly harming anything.
Weren't you like part of a rebel group at some point? You seem like
I'm
it.
sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, never mind. We never talked about this.
So, you going to your friend there in that case?
Mm-hmm.
We'll just wait outside, I suppose.
Okay, so that's the plan.
Yep.
So you leave the storage behind, and most likely have to like grab a cab or something.
Did this? I have a question. Did this thing have like a was there multiple ways to transport out the weapon this big from this building, or just front?
Just the front. And actually, like as Vinal was looking, like, in hindsight, like basically the front of each of these warehouses has like a human-sized door to just go through, and basically like a gate. And in this specific one, they have on the inside move like crates behind the gate, so that the gate can't even be opened quickly. So you'll need to get all the crates away and then open the gate and then get the weapon out.
I mean, it might be wise to post someone here, but I also don't think it would be a good idea anyway.
Like the weapon itself looks to be basically like halfway through being prepared, so it's not like yeah. What? I'm laughing.
About her comment about it.
I want to see memes as well.
It's not a meme. Yeah. I mean, let's not post anyone here, or do we? I wish we had something to leave here. Yeah, let's go.
Right. So all of you leave. Are all of you going along with Miles to the administrative district? Like, are you returning to the docks?
No, we'll go to the.
I'll tag along. I just don't want to go into that building or like.
Because
I think Aether should be parked in the ship just because anyone in government who's slightly corrupt, which is probably anyone who's willing to help us, might be spooked if too large and too attention-grabbing a group shows up.
I agree. There aren't
So-
anything outside.
In that case, I'll go with Aether.
We can have discussions about the things that you've definitely not been told.
Yes, I forgot what I've been not told.
No. I imagine
You need to remind me
like
again.
we can definitely rule that she has been, that she has told you stuff, but that she's very much of the opinion that she has not told you stuff, and you
This-
better not remember any stuff.
Okay, this is complicated. Can I write it down?
No writing down. That's evidence.
She's just going to glare at you.
Thank you, Miles.
Her glare is not very intimidating. She's like, I don't know how tall Winnell is, but she's shorter, and she looks like she hasn't slept for half a week.
You should get some sleep.
She continues glaring. Anyway, sorry.
Okay, we're out.
you should have grabbed a sleeper. That looks a lot more intimidating.
How much to rent a car for a day? 50?
15, I think.
Mm.
Sure.
Dock Walker has to work really hard for that one ride.
I will rent a car from
Actually,
well,
for a
personal
day,
funds.
that's okay. I thought it
Just
was like a
and I
taxi
will
ride.
drive Dalu and the captain to where he needs to go, and then I'll stay in the car,
Yeah.
as a good driver does.
Pilot the car.
Sure.
You actually roll pilot skills for driving.
In the previous editions, there was like special driving for like cars, flying things, animals, spaceships. Like,
Now I'm good at everything.
now he's good at everything. Yeah. All right. Because obviously, like driving a camel and driving a skyship is the same stuff.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, getting a car actually like saves you a lot of time because the administrative district is far away from the docks. It's in a nicer part of the island. You do get there eventually with Len staying in the car in the parking lot, and I guess like Dalu and Miles, you're going up. Well, just make me like a quick connect charisma check just to see how quickly you get to your guy. Definitely getting there, but just to see how charming you are, really.
Just a second.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, so you very quickly like get the like reception desk to get you where you need without telling them a bit too much about why you need to get there. And like within 10 minutes, after waiting a little bit, like going up the levitator to one of the upper floors of this specific building and waiting a little bit and not even getting to drink your coffee, you do get invited into the office of Elijah, who kind of like makes a scene out of getting up from his place and like walking towards you for like an in-person, like on the level handshake as he goes. No, he doesn't do that. Ah, my favorite salvaging crew. How has the business been these days?
Things have been actually going pretty well, though with a minor inconvenience that I'm sure that you'd be interested to hear.
Of course, of course. And like make sure the door is kind of like closed and gets you like by an elbow and deep into the room. I see that you have a friend. We have not been introduced.
Right, please. This is Dalu.
I guess a slight
I
bow.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Like he thinks for a moment, but like there's no obvious sign of recognition or anything on his face. Dalu, it is a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure.
You look like a capable man for a capable captain. Good, good.
Right. So,
Ah, yes. Sit down. I will. Like last time, bourbon.
yes, please.
He kind of like walks over to his bar, like gets a pretty nice looking counter of liquid, like pours like 3 shots. Returns to you, like puts 2 in front of you, like sits down on the opposite of you, like you've moved away from the table. And I guess is a kid sitting like in the sofa negotiation area, so to speak. Well, what kind of problems can somebody as competent as your crew be dealing with? I am hoping you have not gone places you should not have gone to, right?
No, of course not. Of course not. The thing is, we've arrived here to trade with our found goods and salvage goods. And, well, one of those goods could be used in violent ways or in peaceful ways. Depends how you look. But in any case, that particularly good was stolen by a certain underground organization.
He stands up, walks over quickly to the table, like you see, like he kind of like opens the drawer, like clicks
drawer.
something inside, closes the drawer. I am listening very attentively.
Right, I also come close to him. Just what was that?
I didn't hear the last thing.
What was that in your drawer? Just out of curiosity.
It is just to make sure that we are the only ones talking. You never
Fine.
know who is listening. Recently, the walls have ears.
True. Right. So this particular group, I assume you know who I'm talking about,
Ah,
has stolen
the Greens.
Is that what they're called?
The Green Front.
The Green Front. Well, they're opposing the Red Dawn, so
Yes, the insurgents. Yes.
yes, right. So they've stolen it with no reimbursement whatsoever.
Have they
And,
taken it from you
well-
directly? And what kind of equipment
Hmm.
are we talking about?
Right.
TL3,
So to be
TL4?
more precise. Out of character, what is it?
I mean, he's currently talking about like personal grade weapons.
Oh, okay. No, ship weapon. A laser gun partly needs
It's not
fixing.
very good. And
Well, not at
now
all.
that we are actually quiet, though we cannot remain in this for long not to raise suspicion, It is a weapon you have salvaged from the hidden base. So it is a red-done weapon.
Indeed. Indeed.
It is very bad. And you are absolutely
Right.
certain that these people are in possession of it at the moment.
Oh, absolutely. And I even know the address. Where are they keeping it?
He quickly grabs a pen. I am listening.
Yeah, I give him the address. I
Alright.
tell him the information
Tell
that
me
Winnell
everything you
gave us.
saw.
Yeah, I do. All the information Winnell has conveyed to us, like the people that are there, how fixed it is. Like you said, it was like
Mhm.
50%. What else? What else? What else? Oh, that it was stolen while we were about to close the deal. So that the porters came, took it, and then it was stolen. Yeah, that's the information.
Alright, you can
I've got-
jot it down in bold quick handwriting and short sight.
Stenography.
Short sight.
Stenography.
Uh,
I think. Or it's called that in
Yeah.
German.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it is.
Shorthand. Yeah, that's what I'm. And like folds it a couple times, puts it in his pocket. This is very good. This could be our chance to show the people that they are not as peaceful as they claim to be.
Correct. I've offered this information now, but very much probably officials are going to take possession of that weapon. And I've just
Do not
wanted
worry. Do not worry. I have not heard any rumors, so I assume your mission is not yet complete.
correct.
Go
We are
handle
coming
that.
back.
By the time you return, we should already have them apprehended. I cannot return you the weapon, but there is a sizable bounty on any information provided, so if what you have told us is true, and we get good results, and knowing you we should get really good results, well, that would be a pretty good bounty. Return for your reward, both for this mission and the bounty. I assume it would take you at least another week to lose the full round.
More or less, yes.
Alright. You are doing good work
Meaning
today,
you.
my friend. I'm certain that our mutual acquaintance would have been really proud of you.
I'm sure he was. You will, sorry. Always pleasure meeting you.
And he kind of walks over back to the table, like, does the same thing, like, takes it off. Anyway, it was very interesting to discuss your new salvaging operation in the Outer Rim, and I will have my people look over your business plan and consider our investment. This pirating threat that you have mentioned is quite worrying. Thank you for bringing it to my attention.
Oh, my pleasure. And if you don't mind, one for the road?
One for the road. Like he actually didn't even touch his. He was kind of like too shocked to do that, but he.
Meanwhile, the captain downed his double and now he's taking another.
Yeah, but he pours you a second one. And...
Always keep the good stuff. Right then.
So you take advice, escorted out of the office and down the hallway. Make me a notice a wisdom check.
Can I try one as well? Since I've been more just paying attention.
Sure.
Damn, what a roll.
I'm no wise, no.
The booze is kicking in.
Yeah, Miles, that was some good booze. Like it's been in a barrel for a couple decades. That's some really good stuff. Dal, you get the feeling that like this isn't like turning point level of information you brought him, but this was a really good piece of information. Very happy to hear, and was genuinely excited to get it from him.
While we are in the elevator, I guess.
Levitator.
Levitator, sorry. I'll say I'm really sorry about before. It just slipped my tongue. And from here on out, I'll let you introduce yourself. And I can assure you, this is a very trustworthy personnel.
Oh yeah, and by the way, Dalo,
Listen,
as part of your
yeah,
check, you didn't
Sure.
get the feeling that he recognized you.
That he what? Sorry.
You didn't get a feeling that he has recognized you
Yeah. Okay.
or heard the name.
Cool. Okay. Listen, it's sort of strange because I sort of want to find this person, so it sort of makes me want this to make it like a slip like that leads somewhere, and then a part of me just doesn't want it to happen. So I only hope nothing happens from that slip up, but just don't worry about it. It happens. I understand. I understand that you worry. You just mentioned to me now, so look, it's fine. But so thank you for keeping an eye on it.
Nevertheless, really sorry. I'll let you introduce yourself from now on.
Well, thank you. We handled it good in there. Otherwise, hopefully there's some
think so?
follow up.
I think he just was a very friendly and close friend, more than I just handle things.
Hmm. Well,
I'll
now
take
what?
that as an agreement.
He seems like I don't know him. I can't. I mean, I'm a bit skeptical of people like him that are just used to putting up a face. I'm not sure how. I'm not that good at doing it, but it always seems a bit weird to me. Meeting someone that's really good at talking to people, I can't really tell. I don't even try to read them. So I guess she seemed okay. Don't. If you trust him, I'll trust him. But sorry, what's the plan now? Where will we go? Will we meet up with the others first?
Well, it seems our worries are being taken care of, so we'll just resume the mission.
Mm-hmm.
Try and resume the mission. Come back, and hopefully things turn out for the better.
Have we?
Otherwise,
Yeah, go on.
I was just gonna say, I assume you, by this point, propose lands and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
start
we're in
driving
the
back.
car, maybe. No.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
How'd it go, Captain?
Seems that it went great.
Excellent. Let's discuss it in detail when we're back at the ship. And I'll
Make
press
it
down the
good.
pedal.
You don't want to make the recap happen twice.
No, somehow I do not. So I'm
Great
just
time.
gonna, put some lead
Right.
in there.
So as you press the gas and the ground car speeds away back towards the dock, or more like towards the renting agency before you return to the docks, let's go and take a break. Get
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty.
a chance to finish our food and reconvene in another
5 or
5
so.
minutes.
Yes, perfect.
We're back. Alright, so you all regroup back on the ship with Miles and Dalu bringing good news. Well, news. I'm not sure if they can be
Oh,
called hard.
wait, let me. Oh, man. Wait, let me try to do this. Wait, I need butter.
Yeah, I know what's coming.
Good news, everyone!
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
What was that
Great
supposed to
minds
be?
think alike. It's a reference from Futurama. I probably botched it.
Okay,
Oh,
sure.
I see.
Yeah, anyways, yeah. Right, so we've met with this individual, and he seemed very eager to help us, and our worries are being dealt with. So by the time we'll come back here, we should be reimbursed for our stolen goods.
That is very pleasant.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Still feels wrong, but okay.
So, what are our next actions in that case? Are we done here, or do they want us to get involved?
No, not at all. We've done our part, and once we come back, we will, if things go well, we'll have a prize.
So we are heading back in that case.
Seems that way. If we are done with all the shopping and
I think I would like to
Equipment?
restock, just a bit. An
Let's hope
additional
while we're
10
in-
days or so.
Wait, 10 days for what, restocking the ship?
Yeah, like the life support rations and so on.
Yeah.
Because that's another K that's gonna go.
Have you remembered to count down supplies when you're traveling
Yes.
to Aurelia? Okay.
Yes, I did.
Question. If we're spending more time here, does this lovely, lovely island believe in the bond concept we refer to as libraries?
They don't believe in them, but they have them.
It's good enough for me. I'll take it. Ether's going to try to do some
You
digging.
cannot prove the existence of libraries.
Ether's not going to be super hopeful, but she's going to do some digging. She's going to try to figure out if she can find any records of things like the massive array of like sarcophagi, as like she's going to try to see if there's like anything like that, if she can find something about military histories of the Order of the Red Dawn or something. That's sort of her best starting point, but she's just going to try to do some independent research while she has the time.
Okay, sure. Make me let's say no check with intelligence.
I agree, dog. With bar.
also out of character
Yes.
for the group. Should we get a henchman?
I mean, a major domo would be nice, I'm sure.
No, I don't. Our life support is going to be cut down.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's
You have to recalculate it all.
The only
Yes.
the only practical reason I see to bring a henchman is either right now for the mission just to help with hauling stuff, but we already emptied the things out, and for ship combat for either position. I don't know which.
Engineering, I guess, is still a problem because Aether is too good of a shooter.
Yeah.
Miles gets onto
Pick
the
up
ship with
some-
another person, and this is my one-night stand. But you've been with Nas throughout the night. Oh,
Nights work differently here in the wind.
There isn't any sunlight. A one night stand can go on for a very long time.
Did you find anything? But in the library?
was it an 8?
Yes. Oh,
Yes. How did I do this? Okay, whatever. Actually, with an 8, it wasn't a very long search, and you basically read up on Red Order, like military doctrine, and you basically read that instead of using living people as troops, as most people do, they use undead, and especially for low-grade undead, such as skeletons and zombies, they are often just stored like this in, well, boxes, really, more like than sarcophagi, deployed
Drawers.
completely, drawers, to a necessary deployment space, where the necromancer in charge injects his arcane energy into the corpses, reanimates them, and uses them.
Fair enough. Well, she's going to return with the information that it is highly unlikely to be, persons anymore. So that's good.
See.
I mean,
Could
it's
I-
bad for the persons.
I mean, to be fair, the book goes quite deeply into how, like, the voluntary service of Red Dawn works, where like you only do your service after death when it doesn't really matter. So, like, nobody is forced to fight. The ordinary citizens of Red Order are always well protected by their ancestors and their spirits. Like, they're always with them.
Upon reading this, she's going to flick over to look at the author's name and sort of squint at it.
The name does have a couple too many V's in it.
Yeah.
The MP Mac Vampire. Completely unbiased author. Yeah.
They even have free healthcare in the Red Dawn.
No, well, depends.
You haven't thought of that, yeah.
So are we heading back? I will buy like 10 more days of rations done.
Sure. So
For
that's what
1k.
1K, yeah.
How many
Right.
Lazarus patches did we buy?
We bought 10 Lazarus. Let me check. Yes, 10.
Sounds
By the way,
plenty.
I assume that we have already bought or are now buying the equipment for breaking into this vault.
Yeah, we have data slabs,
Yeah.
a data slab, a line chance, which the data slab and the line chance combined should be getting you hacking access.
Mm-hmm,
And then we'll see how good you do with that. But
do we have a
that's-
backup plan?
no, we do not have a backup plan.
To be fair, like, your only
Sure,
other
like-
backup chance would be either to, like, get some demolition charges, which,
We'll
to be
probably also
fair,
start with
had you
water
made the
type.
deal with Elijah, it might have been possible. But anything less than Elijah, it would have been like, why are you
Black
buying
market.
demolition charges when we're having a rebellion on our hands? You could have made a deal with the rebellion, I don't know, maybe. But yeah, aside from that, it's gonna be some proper, like, mining gear, and you don't have funds for proper mining gear.
Well, during those 10 days or so, there could have been a point where we tried to look at the equivalent, like, the black market, pretty much.
What do you mean 10 days? That's just I'm
You've been there
buying
for
Or
2
did
that.
days.
the
I'm just buying the stock for that, but we're still in the same day.
yeah, it just came out.
So misunderstood you as well.
But yeah, in the time that we're stocking, basically. you know,
Yeah.
some of us could be looking at the black market if those like demolition charges aren't, you know, available. Try and get some. Probably Dowley wouldn't do that. Not the best. Being in the face.
I think it's not quite necessary. If we can't get in, we can't get in. It's what it is.
Yeah. Well,
Not
sticking to
demo
the
charges.
sticking to
Runic charge.
the hacking plan is it's fine. Yeah.
I mean, we have got quite a few days to try it, so and nothing that should interfere. So we've got a few attempts to try and make it.
Mhm.
I mean, I wish we had somebody on board with experience in demolition charges, explosions, and
Yeah, me too.
other things that may happen. That would be so great.
Okay, Winnell, first of all, fuck you. Secondly, yes, I don't have a professional background, but I have some
Fun.
appreciation for the basics.
Okay,
My
pouring away first.
my husband used to do decent work, but it's not exactly the kind of thing that becomes a family business, you see. But once he passed, well,
Right.
yeah.
Sorry for bringing that up.
No, it's good to be reminded, time to time, what matters. Right. Anyway.
Are you okay?
Look, I wouldn't recommend us fucking about with blasting. It's the kind of thing that if you don't measure it right, you just end up becoming a nice chunky sauce all over everything, really.
Right.
Especially in an environment like this. I mean, certainly if we had timed charges, but I wouldn't rely on anything that wasn't professional make for that sort of thing, or my own make. And I mean, I suppose I could rig up a bit. Look, explosives are dangerous. They explode. It's what they do. You don't want to be near when they do.
Sorry for prodding some more, but what exactly is important in your eyes, Aether?
Tell you when I figure it out, Captain.
I'm firing up the ship, yeah?
Please do.
Let's get the fuck out of here. And see
Says
what...
he and takes out an iron drake and fires out the ship. Alright, yeah. So you go through the whole like undocking process, like report your departure at to dock control. Get a departing already. OSS Fable, is it? That's a good name. Over. Have a nice trip. Oh well, actually, break. Have a nice trip. Over. And you get your.
Oh, thank you. Over.
And insist.
There you go.
Yeah.
You get your departure vector and you head off towards the region border.
Yes, 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days and 6 hours, basically. So let's
Would
say
it
6
be,
hours is gonna be the end of the day, and then all of 17th, all of 18th, and you're basically gonna be there morning of the 19th.
Okay, 3 days.
Question: Would anyone be going next to the med bay?
I don't know. Would you?
Winnel to feed his
Why?
bunnies.
I don't know. Is it like in the hallway? Is the door open? Is like what?
Actually, you should have very little reason to go there because, if I remember, actually no, you might, cause med bay and mess hall are in the same hull, and then the second hull is captain's quarters and private quarters. So you might. You will definitely be going either by the med bay or close to med bay.
Okay. Is the door open or is it like shut?
Shut.
Okay.
Not locked, but shut.
Okay. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Occasionally
By
you
the
hear.
end of the campaign, we have like 400 bunnies multiplying there.
How many days does he have rations for? Is the question I
It's
want
like-
to
I
know.
don't get it. Why can't we lift off? We're under the weight limit.
By the way, Winel, don't
Like,
forget to
this
count
is-
your bunny rations.
Yes.
No, I
am.
mean, surely, we're not going to gain mass. Like his personal belongings as mass will have been accounted for. So, there's only going to be like a couple of bunnies starting mass additional. The rest of the bunny mass created is going to be created from the mass of, food and
Food,
stuff
yes.
taken aboard.
Mass does not appear from out of nowhere.
Unfortunately, we restock that mass when we buy food again. So
Yeah, but also every single sci-fi story set aboard a spaceship has vermin in the air vents because some idiot brought pets aboard the vessel.
What was
And
those?
I just love you for the fact that you decided I want to be that person, and I want to be that person as soon as physically possible.
What was those like
Bunnies.
furball, super fast breeding creatures from Star Trek?
Because for his defense, bunnies are much harder to actually notice. But if you would bring chickens on, and then we would hear crow, yeah.
I mean, sometimes like when you walk by the med bay, when Winel's inside, you just hear from inside, "What's up, Doc?" And then it's like, "I don't know, bunny. This is also hard."
Oh god, Bugs Bunny is what happens when Red Dwarf happens to this ship.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So, Dan,
Yeah.
could I actually have spent some time at the library as well? Or is that... warped
You'd
out.
have only like a couple hours now.
it was only like
Wasn't
half a day. Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if cloning is a thing.
Make me a no magic check.
Where is he going with this?
The bunnies.
The bunny
clone
rebel.
themselves.
I'm gonna clone the most useless thing possible, bunnies, because that's the fastest way to get more bunnies.
Wisdom?
No intelligence, no magic. Yeah. Yeah, you start getting into research in the library, but in the time you're given, you get a feeling that either it's not here or I'll need a lot more time to get through all these books to actually get to a proper reference, because you get a feeling that like this is a bit beyond general public science magic knowledge.
Oh.
Huh?
Really bad library. Let's get out of here.
You get a lot about the cloning of plants, but that's not quite what you're looking for. And it's not really cloning. But close enough. Yeah. All right. So 2.5 days later, your ship drifts back into the island cluster where the base you've set up the salvage is. You know the coordinates. You know your vector of approach. Well, unless you wanna spend some time, looking for others.
Please do an active scan. Captain, please order an active scan. We did cause
Active
a bit of a ruckus last time.
Right then. Active scan it is.
Right. What? And so you need to roll a program.
I assume this is me doing it.
Yes. Well, I assume
Yep.
at +1. Yes, was intelligent. Oh yeah! Oh my god! I don't think I can beat it.
Off stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't.
Nice.
All right. So I don't even need my dice. So this basically means that you find every single station. So the refueling stations, the outpost, and the research base. You get their ping, ping, and is this? No, I think it's this bag. Bag of dice, because I didn't expect anything to happen this session, obviously. Right. You also find like 2 large ship signatures docked at the outpost, and yeah, you basically notice 2 more, like you assume, cargo ships of sizable size docked at the outpost. But that's all the ships you notice in the area.
Wait, so 2 in the outpost?
Which outpost? Like the one on not the
There's only
base
one
we're going
outpost,
to?
just outpost. Yeah. Like
Okay,
outpost is
sure,
basically a
that's-
local, like official mine, you can call it.
So no one at the place we're going to.
No.
Fine.
Well, that's
far as we
what
can
you think.
tell.
It is. No, it's gonna be at least a couple dozen kilometers away. Because, sky is a big place. All right.
Yes, we'll head there again.
Alright, so yeah, after like another half an hour of maneuvering, this time Lance can take a much faster approach, knowing where to go and safe in the knowledge that there are no other ships around to shoot down. You eventually get your ship into the hangar previously had it. Peering over the half disassembled corpse of the patrol boat that worked on. So hardly. Yeah. Anyway.
Don't know what you were trying to say.
Yes.
Sorry.
And you land your ship, and you're ready to disembark.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
so
With all these transition screens.
let's get Dalu set up at the place and see what we can hack I guess.
Uh,
we do with it.
As a reminder, last time you've turned off the
we need to
reactor,
turn it on.
and you
Turn
haven't
it
bought
back.
any beat cells. Or have
Yes,
you?
we have.
Yeah.
Yes.
In
we
theory,
have,
in
sorry.
that case, you don't have to turn on the reactor. You can try and attach a beat cell to the vault door and power it direct.
Yeah, let's do that. We can power our B cells again, like charge them back up with our ship's engine, so it doesn't matter. Yes, it says that in the description.
1 moment.
And down I bought order. Oh, never mind.
Food is more important. I'll put it up here.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get our stuff and get there.
This might be just paranoia, but I'm also thinking about the coal storage since we left. It's on my mind. If so,
It will be blown up once we blow up this place.
of course, just while we're doing this at the vault, let's
Yes, Lance,
I'll
could
keep
you,
I'll be alert.
Lance,
Well-
could you go in and check if, the cold storage is still
Cold.
Cold.
storage?
That place is creepy as fuck. But
And with
Yes, that's why I
the
want you to check.
reactor back in hibernation mode, the base is back to dim lights and dark hallways. So
also, but I do want to mention something, and that is
bought a
that
flashlight.
no, we bought a lot of glow box or whatever. But we currently now have a comm server on our ship.
Hmm.
So we can be in constant connection through our data pads, just through our ship network.
did you buy like a phone for everybody?
Yes,
Wi-Fi?
everyone should have that data pad.
Yeah, comm server is great.
Does someone not have one?
I had a compad.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the one.
it. The compad. That's your phone. Everyone have a phone? Good.
We all got a compad.
If
Yeah.
you haven't had one yet, please tell me so I can take it off our funds, because that would definitely have been bought.
Yeah.
Take one as well.
I didn't have one.
Okay, 1, 2. So 2?
I already had one.
Yeah, Dalu and Aether, right?
Mm-hmm.
Captain, you had one?
Yep.
Good.
It's not ready though.
Does that take ready space? Okay.
I know. That's
It's okay.
yeah.
It'll
So
be fine.
compad is good.
Do you
It
wanna
connects you,
tweet
unless
as fast
GM decides that it doesn't, for plot horror reasons.
Please don't.
Dun,
2.
dun, dun.
So, like, are you walking down to the cold storage while being on the phone with somebody?
Yeah,
or-
well, they can go somewhere else, and I'll just walk down there, and they can call me anytime if they run into trouble, because I've been anywhere in this place.
So he's going
So
to check
I'm
out the
going
cold
home?
storage.
Yes. Yes.
I'll
Do
set
we
up
want you
Dalu.
to go
the
along?
vaults.
Yes. It's fine.
I mean, you're an adult, but still,
you know, that really made
dangerous.
it sound like I'm not. If you say, "Oh, you're an adult," but
Well, most of you is.
it really, like,
I can see you get the point. Can I come with you?
if you want, it'll just, yeah, sure. I mean, you won't be able to get inside, so, but that's your issue. Yes.
I imagine Aether's going to be busy because as the main engine, literally every piece of waiting here is the rest of you waiting while she does something that she needs to do. So she'll be working away on doors, making sure that they are working and powered and stuff.
You also have a feeling that giving boys a chance to shock themselves with type 8 cells is fine. Letting them shock themselves with type B cells may be a little bit too dangerous.
Yeah, no, that's no, bad.
Alright. So the two of you go check out the cold storage. So I'd need notice check from one of you, both of you, I don't know, helping, not helping. And while you do that, Isa, I assume you set up the power for the vault door so that Dal can hack it.
Yep.
So fix me
Yep.
the door, please.
You should roll. I can't go in.
Maybe I can provide light through the window for you to see. In through the window, because
I mean,
I'm shit
if
at
you go in, the DC is gonna be lower than if you don't go in.
I am gonna just like blink in through the window, take a peek around, look for the bats, so I'm staying very still, and yeah, then I will roll my shit check.
You want some night vision?
Sure.
Bad vision? No, bad vision is bad.
Yes, some night vision would be nice.
Can I do that? Yes, I can do that actually.
Oh, it would be at 4 in that case, so it's still shit.
Yeah. So you blink in, you blink
I
out
think so.
in those like 2 seconds or 6 seconds it takes you to do that. You notice no movement.
That was not my intent. I wasn't gonna just like blink out immediately again. I was just gonna blink in and stand still to look around.
Well, you
But
rolled
yeah,
a 2 or a 4, so
Yeah,
in
I'm
any
still
case...
not blinking out after 6 seconds. I just don't.
Alright,
see anything.
fine. You
Yeah.
blink in, stand around.
Perfectly fine. And I'll blink back out. It seems perfectly still. Nothing's moving. So I think we're good. Just as honestly as expected. I'll check the other one too. And I'll blink in there and I'll look around.
Meanwhile, behind the window and around where Lancer stood like for zombies, huh?
But there's... Never mind, it's fine.
No, there are no
zombies. It all seems pretty calm. Honestly, just the way I left it. Even the bats were quiet, so this is fine. Let's go upstairs and join the others.
Alright, by the way, it's called owl vision.
Owl vision. Okay, sure.
I just invented that.
Very cool.
Thank you.
So will I'm in the middle of hacking this with Miles, and it's been set up. So will I make a roll for it?
I need Aether to set up the door first.
Oh, that's right.
Beg your pardon. Sorry, didn't.
It's not very hard, but it's still
Yeah, sorry, just didn't realize.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it does take you like a little bit of time to like disassemble the door panel to get on the inside, but once you're in, spend a minute figuring out which cable goes where, set up the battery. You have a feeling you get like, how long does a Type B battery work, like, per day?
I will check.
Like, you think you've got... Most likely, Dalu is gonna fail way before the battery does. Let's put it that way. But yeah, the door turns on, and Dalu, now you get access to you can attach basically your data slab to the control panel.
Yep.
And you basically need to somehow hack both through the password and through the biometric scan, while not being well versed in Red Order, what's it called? Protocols, yeah.
Alright, well.
Good fucking luck.
We're missing something.
Very well executed in setting it up. Just try my hands at this. Hope it goes well.
Right.
I'll need if you won't mind, just don't distract me too much, so I don't want to fuck this up for us. Alright, I'll roll now. So would that mean that I roll twice then? Since I'm doing more than one thing, or just...
you're basically you're trying, I assume, to open the door, right?
Yeah.
So you're trying to subvert the system. I'm gonna count that as baseline. But I'm gonna add +1 difficulty for you. Have
so
a little...
-1 to my roll, or
no, I'm just gonna increase the DC, and yeah, another +1 for the type of system. So DC 12.
Can we help him?
Can you help him? Any of you have any skills that might assist in this situation?
Write down protocols. I could cheerlead as normal.
I'm going to assist by sitting quietly and not bothering him while he works.
Okay, you roll me a sneak check.
No, I'm not actually. I'm not actually trying to
Oh.
lend assistance. I'm just saying that, you know.
I mean, funnily enough, you doing that and failing, that would not affect anything. Like, you don't get into anybody's way by attempting a help, but yeah. Anyway, anybody? Anybody has any
Try
good
and
ideas?
maybe try and inspire him.
Sure. Go for it. Talk to him charismatically.
Oh, but this is the equivalent of like being a bard and coming up with like songs all
Yes.
the
pretty
time.
much, yeah.
This is how DM makes it so that you don't do it for every single skill check.
Right. Which
Or
is
you
not going to
enjoy
stop me, by the way.
Well, yours is gonna suffer
I'm
for
listening.
it.
Right, Dalu, we've got you all the tools, all the fine toys we could have bought, and now it's the moment of truth. And not to, put any pressure on you, but we always have, we have a few days here, so just take it easy. But I'm sure you'll get it on the first time.
The pressure helps me work harder. So
The expected of, yes.
I take it on the shoulders. I take it on on stride. I guess that's the saying.
Alright, so Miles, roll your talk check. Charisma?
Talk or
check?
lead?
Sure.
I would lead, yes.
Oof.
There we go.
Nope.
Wait, no.
11.
You need to
Wait,
beat
wait,
the
wait,
same DC as he does.
Question. Yeah, question. Is the... Oh, no, because it's not a negotiation or diplomacy. Okay, so never mind.
Nope.
It
Yeah.
doesn't.
Okay, so no.
You came close. You came close.
Like,
Okay.
the speech was good, but not that good.
I'd say it was mediocre.
It was an 11. It was very.
11 out of 10.
Well, I mean,
It's 11
I might give you like slight bonus if you actually give me a good speech, but your speech was really mediocre, so I had no reason to make it.
Ooh.
Generic.
Don't need to do him like that. Okay, I'll roll.
Give it a try.
I mean, at 6 is gonna be enough. What the hell?
Ooh.
Nice!
Look at
Ah.
that. I got a 1 on one of the die. That's pretty good.
All right. So, you you sit there for like an hour preparing the program on your data slab as you're like checking the system, seeing for like alarms, how to reroute them, how to fool the biometric system. Thankfully, you find a weakness in the biometric system because apparently Red Order isn't very good at biometrics because
Well, everyone's dead.
yeah, it doesn't work well with dead eyes, which means they're not super sensitive, and you find a way to fool it by kind of like making it but recognize your eye as a correct one. And yeah, after like that good hour of work, you hear first beep on the biometrics, and then you hear like the code getting like input in the system, a green check mark, and you hear inside the door. You have a feeling you've got like a minute while your hack is gonna hold for you to physically interact with the door.
Yep, open it up. I open it up.
Exert check. please.
Let's do it.
I'm guessing you're helping me out. Like, we're all just jumping on the door.
I would also like to help.
Go for it.
I am using my
I assumed as much.
superior
Actually, don't
powers.
even roll. Your strictness is strong enough to just consider as auto help for this. So
I am once again helping by sitting quietly.
Man, I
Else?
should have taken stealth.
Dalu, you have a +1 from me.
oh, I thought Miles was opening the door.
Oh,
Well,
I think Dalu was better, but I don't know.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
Dalu,
cool.
go ahead.
Don't know how much better. But yeah, I'll
Not
do.
much. But
There's
yeah.
one of you already.
Yeah, doing it now.
Oh,
Alright.
what the fuck was your dice?
Yeah,
Ooh.
like
I'm
you're
getting
like
good
you sit there for like
rolls
10
today.
seconds, like wait, it worked. And then with adrenaline still like in your system, you rush to the door and like start moving the big valve, which actually moves surprisingly easy with Lance kind of like helping you from the behind, pretending to be a Jedi.
Not
And
pretending.
yeah, and like as
Oh,
you
you
push
brilliant
onto
devil.
the door, you hear a slight hiss of air as you feel wind rush past you and into the room. And you push open the door and you see a room about 3 by 3 meters. Its insides fully covered in metal. You get a feeling it's a good thing we didn't go for the mining approach. It would have taken you a lot longer than you expected. And in the center of the room, there is about a meter tall pedestal with a glass case on it, inside of which is some rectangular object. Not a rectangle. Yes, rectangle.
Cube.
Like cuboid.
I am going to run
Wait.
inside.
In the beginning, there was the cube.
Everyone get in here. Get in here. It'll be fine. I'll get us out if it closes up on us.
Why did you get us in?
I'll pull out my
Once I've been in, I can't get back.
Ah,
in.
gotcha.
I need to have seen the place
your
or
excuse.
been in the
Okay.
place.
Get
No
in,
other
get in.
options.
I mean, you have the door open now, so like even if the system locks you out, the door is open already, so I know immediate need to rush.
Anyone know what that is?
No.
spooky, positively Eldritch.
Is there anything else in the room?
Nope.
Just that's it.
There are a couple like small vents that you assume were used to basically drain all the air out of this room to make sure it's untouched.
Remind me, how big did you say this pedestal was?
The pedestal was a meter tall with like a glass box on it.
Yeah. Okay, good. So a meter, so we can. There's nothing here that's hidden from sight.
You're in the room,
No part of
you
it.
see nothing. Like unless there's some secret door shenanigans or illusion magic, and with your eyes you definitely see no illusion magic. You remind me about them occasionally, because I might forget. No? Actually, you do see like a slight film of necromantic energy enveloping the container.
That's not at all surprising.
Well, whatever
Yep.
this is, it must be an entire room just for this.
In my professional
God.
opinion, Captain, I say it's weird magic shit.
Is it worth anything?
It must be. It's an entire vault.
And why hasn't he
Well,
taken it?
I mean, we have to consider the possibility he did, in fact, take what in here was valuable.
And this single piece wasn't. Potentially.
Yes.
The only thing on a pedestal in the middle of the room.
Well, there might have been something else on the thing, or in the thing.
No, there is something in the glass box. It's
Right,
not empty.
what is in the glass box?
Make me a notice intelligence check.
Magic.
You approach closer. Investigate it.
Can we see in the rest of the room, are there traces of other objects? Like,
Make
for instance,
me a notice wisdom check.
yeah, and then I was going to follow that up with asking Lance, because he's got his quirky heightened senses, so to speak, that he's referred to. Maybe he can, a shot in the dark. Like you can smell, I don't know, fabric. That could have been something in the room in the past that got moved. Because you have referred to these like
You're confusing
strong
me.
sense.
I think you're confusing me with Winnow.
Am I?
Because my senses are trash.
He's
Or
been
Or maybe I was
randomly-
maybe I was also making a joke. That might also be it, honestly. But
Maybe that might have been.
definitely not. I don't do anything.
What's
Do you have a heightened sense of smell?
I could give you one.
If you currently have.
I have the so-called owl vision.
I think I'm
Psychometry.
mostly referring to the time that we were at the zombies and you were kind of quite, on the verge of vomiting from like slight smells.
That's what you mean.
Mhm.
Well,
That's a bug, not a feature.
I have a weak stomach, not nothing else.
All right.
It's a great
Right.
feature.
While your boys are bickering in the background about whose stomach is weaker, Aether approaches the box like without touching it, so you don't like touch this
There's weird magic
weird
shit.
magic
Don't
shit.
touch weird magic shit.
And inside the glass box is like a velvet covered stand upon which rests an extremely old looking black leather bound journal book with a number 3 embossed on it, golden leaf.
Shit, this means there are two other.
There is
Uh,
a metal clasp that kind of holds the book together, or journal. But aside from that, it is frankly quite unassuming.
Captain, any particular magic significance? Red Dawn Order, the number 3?
Is there?
Roll me a no check,
Any,
or no magic check.
any threats, suns, any political schisms?
Oh, it's intelligence.
Yes. No, strength!
7?
I mean,
an
the
average?
patriarch has 3 children? Maybe it's baby album?
Not really. Nothing
If
just pops into.
we actually taken it off of the pedestal and started going through it.
Oh, we haven't even opened
I mean,
it
you're
up.
welcome to.
If
Can
you
I-
touch the
should I
magic,
touch this?
if you touch
Yeah,
the
can I
magic,
check if
book,
it's trapped? If there are traps if we take off the glass box or whatever?
Who should check it? I guess Aether, right?
Most probably.
Good with
Controller one.
equipment. Maybe she's got it, noticing it too.
ugh. Mika's safe, but fine. But also, if any of you touch the nasty necromantic tome and get possessed because it's secretly a vampiric soul jar, I'm going to shoot you first.
Alright. So if you check for traps, there's gonna be another investigation check.
Um, you people do know that I ran a shop, yeah? I
Yes.
sold things, weird magic things, which is how I learned not to touch weird magic things. But I'm not some
That's why
kind of
you're up there and we're back here.
heroic
Alright.
warrior archaeologist.
So as the 4 kids hold onto their mother's skirt, she checks the box of traps. And like you basically like find a latch mechanism that would physically release the glass from the stand and allow you to lift the glass. But you've got a feeling that there are no additional traps aside from the weird necromantic shit.
Yeah, I mean, okay, this is probably fine, and I'm probably not going to die, and I'm definitely going to die if we stand here bickering about what else to do until I starve to death. So I'm going to give this a try. If I start acting normal, shoot me. But the power's off, so here goes. And she's going to try to open the thing.
I'm turning on telekinetic armory.
Alright, please roll me a physical saving throw.
We gave her a physical saving throw. Oh
We
no.
have like a mage hand thingy.
Success! Good on you!
Oh,
Versus 13. Jesus.
because she does have dex.
Alright,
No, that's
so
strength.
as you touch the box, you all kind of see as like the veins in her hands start like kind of becoming black, like something is going into them and up her arms as they visibly instantly begin to wither and become thinner. As Aether, you take 19 points of technically necrotic damage.
Okay.
Are you conscious?
Yes, I'm one off of not conscious.
That was
And
wow.
with the last of your strength, that's enough for you to like hold kind of like the box as it shatters into the wall, and you collapse to the ground as your hands just you don't feel them.
I immediately cast healing spell.
She's going to sort of in between, panicked sobs and screaming and cursing. She's going to try to scream, stay away, and also don't shoot. But yeah.
Doc,
Right.
please.
Yeah, I'd already. She's talking, but I already cast this as
No.
second level,
Ugh.
so it's 46. Jesus.
Wow.
Jesus fuck. Okay, might lose an arm or
Yeah.
two.
So yeah, like as you like watch his healing energies you've seen before, kind of like try and reach into your arms, just see it kind of getting snuffed out by the darkness within your arms, and like you look at your own arms and to everybody else, they just look like like she hasn't eaten for a month, and her arms just become like thin and withered. But you just like see black energy pulsing through your arms, and it's gotten better after Winnow has thrown
Okay.
his
Okay,
magic
so
at
the
it.
healing did. She's still sort of in between hyperventilation, sobbing, and panic muttering. But as you heal her, she finds something useful to do. She starts bitching at you about how completely irresponsible you are. You can't start throwing magic at a problem before you understand it. And this could have made it so much worse. And what if she developed a negative
talking, that's good.
ability? And
Hey, I'm going to say I do not.
Also, don't forget,
understand
Aether,
in
you
the
get 1
slightest.
point of system strain for him.
I do not understand in the slightest how you people go about touching things when you have someone in your group who can touch things from a distance, but that's besides the point. I thought you were looking at it. Oh, gods.
He was hungry, didn't you hear? You really need to listen.
Where is the diary book right now? Is it in Aether's
It-
hand?
it's
No,
on the
that's
pedestal.
Floor, I think.
wasn't it?
I thought it was on the floor. Like she like threw off something.
No,
Or was
She's-
that-
no, that was the glass.
Okay, right.
The glass cover.
So is it still on the pedestal? The book?
Mhm.
Perhaps
Think you know
maybe
that.
next time bring that up before almost we lose one of our fellow
I thought
crewmen.
she was going to look at it. I didn't think she would touch it. I thought she was inspecting it.
with our hands, apparently.
It's
So
okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Let's
It's
think
okay.
out
It's okay.
loud.
They're still attached. They're still attached. They still, I think, work. This is nothing. I mean, this is. I haven't dealt with this exactly before, but I'm sure this will be fine.
You know, like that feeling,
Should I?
like when like the blood blocks, like the flow of the blood blocks, and your hand goes numb or leg.
Yeah.
Like you went from that complete numbness after his healing to immediately after it, you know, like that tingling, terrible feeling
That's
in your
the hurt.
arms when the blood
course.
begins to flow back. That's how your arms feel right now.
That's the part that hurts.
And it's not really
Yeah.
getting better, not as fast as you'd like it to. So
Ether, I think we need to get this cleaned up completely.
Yeah, get her to the med bay, I think.
But
This is a great time to find out about the bodies in the med
I could heal right here.
No. You stay away. Stay back. Just let.
Okay.
Fuck.
No med bay. Okay,
Fuck.
that's
Just
fine.
let me sit for like 5 fucking minutes till we figure out if this shit is fucking contagious.
Do you have your scanner with you, Winnell?
Yeah, but I am not touching her because she's
do you need a touch to bioscan something?
no. But I like she has a melee range, and she's
Then-
very
Right.
agitated right now.
Give me the bioscanner.
Okay, here it is. Here's the manual. There's the button.
yeah. So
I'm
the
just
thing
gonna
about
scan and give it to
bioscanner,
you.
I think it takes like what 2 encumbrance or 3 encumbrance.
Let me check.
Well, in any case, out of all
It's
the
one.
encumbrance,
It's one.
yeah, it's like bioscanner is 0 encumbrance, and the manual for it is 1 encumbrance.
Right.
Oh, you.
Ether, just please, no hard feelings. And I just press the button to scan her, I guess.
Okay, roll me a medicine check. With intelligence.
Yeah. So
If you're
can
lucky, that she's human.
can I just scan it and then give it to him to see the results, or is that not how it works?
Let's say you're rolling right now to figure out if you press the correct button.
If I'm okay.
It's not gonna be super hard in that case, since you're not
No.
trying to figure
What is it?
out.
Medicine? Sorry,
Intelligence.
heal what?
Kill intelligence. Oh, medicine intelligence. Heal. 9, alright.
Nine,
Sure. Give off to Winnell. Winnell, wanna try and figure out what it means?
Okay.
Based on your test, on his test more like, the blood vessels in her arms are severely dehydrated. Severe enough where some of them have basically like collapsed on themselves.
Mhm.
And the blood flow is slowly returning, but you're lucky that you think this won't have any permanent damage. Although you would definitely advise her like a couple days in the med bay with fluid injections.
Yeah, that's what I'll tell her. Still afraid to approach her.
I've sort of delayed it. I didn't want to interrupt or anything, but I'll have to go in just a moment. Unfortunately, but just let you know. But have we? Is Lance? What's I say, Lance?
You
Do
want me
you
to
want-
touch it?
Well, not touch it. Like you
I
you
know
just
what you
said-
mean from a
yeah,
distance. Yeah.
exactly. If not, I have a telescopic baton. I can always
Touch me,
No,
but from a distance.
it'll be fine. And I'll take telekinetic or try to take telekinetic grasp of the book. Now that the cover is gone, right?
As the glass is
Gone?
gone, yes.
Yeah. So I'll try and pick up the book
So-
carefully.
How does it feel for you when you like try to attach something telekinetically?
I think it's mostly seeing, it's not feeling. It's more like
Like no tactical.
no, I don't
Input.
I think there's a tactile sense to it. It's more that since it only works when it's in sight, it doesn't work otherwise. It seems to be largely.
I mean, that's how it
reliant on
works
that.
for you.
For me.
So
Yeah.
you like focus on the book, and you like do the movement that like helps you focus, like the sweeping movement.
Okay, this one here seems to be immune to psionic powers.
Oh shit, are you saying it's alive?
Right. Does your telekinetic powers work on?
Everything, mostly apart from living things. So, yes. There's
Can
a
you
good
put it on the
chance it's-
bioscanner?
There's a very good chance it's sentient.
Oh,
Very good.
Would you want me to scan this as well, Wendell?
How about... Give me the scanner.
yeah. I mean, I was thinking more like levitate the scanner,
Yeah.
get under it, like a scoop it up.
Bioscan
Sure.
is not going to tell you if it's intelligent or not, is it? It's
No,
just going to tell you that whether it's made from
It's just
a real boy.
It's just a really expensive carrying
Tray.
He's trying to
Tray,
use it as a
tray,
tray,
yeah, that's the
not
word.
as a to scan it.
I'll have to head now. I was just
All
one thing.
right,
We actually
right.
have a. Don't we have? It's I can't remember the name of it. It's like an expanding container. as
Yes,
well
you have
can
one.
put-
Or the box.
Yeah.
So that's also an option to move it, or maybe
Yeah, we'll
you know,
find an
could
option.
maybe scoop it in. You have it in this portable box.
Sure. We'll
Yeah,
figure
Like
it
part of the
out.
box sounds like a name of like a toilet system.
No,
It sounds
it's-
like a lunchbox.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys later, right? I'll catch
Yeah,
up on
have a
this.
nice evening.
If you put
Yeah.
the video up, then
No,
nice playing
Yeah,
with you
I
guys.
see you.
won't.
You won't, but
Bye.
Yeah,
okay.
you will.
Just bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
But this is worrisome.
Right. Let's try and scan it and then try and scoop it up.
Yeah, let's... I mean, I'm not sure, you know, like I said, if the scan is gonna tell you anything, but
Remind us if it's made from real.
I don't
He
think...
wants to be a real boy.
I think it was probably whatever was protecting it with the glass that harmed her, not it itself. Maybe?
Would you bet
Maybe.
your life on
Wait,
that?
she took.
No, I'd rather not. That's a risky bet.
Oh, I mean, it's not like the fact that the glass is what harmed me is going to mean that the book won't harm you worse.
True, very true. Or in a different way, worse, yeah. Might just take you over.
Yeah, glass kills you dead, so the book can't possess you because the vampire don't want nobody possessed in their ship.
Or this is the vampire.
Well, that too.
How that shit works.
Dan, can I try and figure out if this is either a phylactery or of some sort? Would I know of it?
I mean, it will definitely be a no magic check. And not an easy one. So, I don't know. Do you know about this?
Anything? No, okay. Like no evil, not evil, but no books that hurt your hands while you touch them kind of stories from my childhood, right?
A lot of those.
Every single one of them. I hate
Yeah.
reading.
Like your father was like, I've got a whole library of books you shouldn't touch, otherwise your hands are gonna fall off, cover in hair, turn into tentacles, explode, disintegrate.
Boys and girls, is what we call the porn library.
Oh, no.
Some of it, maybe.
Yeah. You
So
know, if it
she
lives,
touched-
It
what's the worst?
lives.
Then then I don't need to treat it as carefully, right?
I mean,
Give me the scanner.
yeah. Could you like telekinetically scan? Like,
Give it a try. I will try and do the same thing that Tal did before me.
Sure. But you're
Remote
doing
scanning.
it telekinetically, so I'm gonna give you a -2 on your roll.
Excuse me, I have very fine control. That shouldn't
How
apply here.
closely are you approaching it? You also need visual.
Yes, I mean we are like all within a couple of meters anyway, right?
Sure. Very
and he
well.
has owl vision.
Roll.
It's heal anyway, so
Roll your bolt.
Oh,
can I do this with con since that is my spellcasting modifier?
It's not about your control. Your control is fine anyway.
Wisdom. Right? Or intelligence. Doesn't matter.
Intelligence.
Doesn't matter. Either way.
Right? You
So I
got
just
air
do
reading.
the same. I got a reading. I'll give it to Winnel.
Well.
The fuck
Oh wow.
dice today?
Well, you think his scanner is broken because it tells you that this book is made of leather. It is not humanoid leather. No, it's some sort of animal. I'm not sure which one. Definitely not humanoid. But
Rabbit leather.
like the carbon data analysis of it says that this book is almost 3,000 years old.
Hence the 3.
The Bible.
this book is really old, and it's not normal leather. Is there anything else? Like,
No. I mean, what else did you expect to find on it?
there's no
pulse,
life,
no.
life's not no
life
no
signs
heat?
from the book, no heat. Its temperature is
Neurological
no bioelectricity, no.
activity.
No.
Okay.
Right.
When Aether touched, she touched the glass, right? When she got hurt, she didn't touch the book.
Correct.
Correct. Okay. So there was a trap.
Oh, Dalu, you're so quiet. Wouldn't you like to try out touching it?
Yes, I would like it very much. Let me at it.
It licks the book.
Let's not do that.
Look, why don't we rig up a nice, good storage container and fill that with as much neutralizing, insulating crap as we possibly can, and then dump the book in there and then weld the bloody thing shut.
That goes.
And I
Well,
mean
how
that
about we put a porta box and then we drop a blanket in it, and then I'm gonna take my pole and knock the book into the porta box, and then we drop another blanket in it. I really want to use the porta box if you haven't noticed.
Yes, like that. But I was thinking with more welding so that we don't,
To deal with it.
get possessed in the middle of the night by an evil sentient book and go and let the book out.
But aren't you curious?
Oh yes, that's why I'm saying we should look at a plan.
That's not a curious thing to do.
Oh yes, it is. I wonder.
Look, I gave you a chance to work with the rebellion and you chose the boring way. Why not do the same here?
It's
The authorities.
I'm very interested I'm very interested in this book, but I'd like to investigate it under safer conditions.
Dal goes, well, if only we had somebody else to touch it, somebody we don't care about, like, I don't know, a rat or a bunny.
I don't
Too bad
take
we don't have
commands.
that.
Trust me, I don't know.
I mean, that's not necessarily going to help. If it's smart enough, it might very well choose not to possess the hypothetical rat. Doesn't matter much since we don't
I
have
mean-
a rat. Spiders, yes. We might be able to find another bat.
Right.
On a
so,
serious note, I mean, Lance,
Oh no, I'm quite serious.
you don't like your arm anyway.
That is not what I said. I said it was acting up. I didn't say I didn't like it. I quite enjoy it, to be honest.
Oh, look, fine. If someone, if
Okay,
some
misunderstood.
idiot is going to touch this, I'd rather it be me, because
wrong.
I'm.
Because what?
Because you're wrong, that's why.
Because you're already hurt
What?
and you're gonna probably die if you don't
You're
get
useful
immediate
than...
treatment.
No one take this personally, but you're more useful in this crew than anyone else here.
You want to fly the ship off this isle, Captain?
Oh, Captain!
No,
Oh, Captain,
I didn't
that's so
suggest-
sweet. Oh, I don't.
You're welcome. In any case, if there will be an idiot, it will be me.
I was going to say, if we're going to be using the most useless crewmate, I would suggest the captain touch it.
I agree with
What?
him.
Also,
No,
one
if
of the
it-
few
if it-
people who
if it-
literally has a die-hard focus.
Absolutely not. The captain. Look, you're ignoring one fairly likely hypothetical, which is that it's able to influence but not directly control its wielder, and the captain's goals already might align with the books, whereas ours are unlikely to.
I mean,
That sounds like a net
If-
positive.
Aether, if you're up for healing, I can do it, but I don't want to do this again.
Oh no, you're not touching
That's
it.
what I figured.
If someone explodes, you're putting them back together. I'm certainly not doing a mess.
Right. So let's get you two
Fine.
and let's get this book onto the ship. With the
How very unfortunate.
How are we doing this? With a lunchbox or what?
Dal is standing in the background with a
No,
3.0 something meter pole.
Captain, go open the bloody book. We all want to know what's in it.
Do you have any juice in you left, Doc?
Sure.
Right.
If you can take it, I have it. Something like that.
Right. If I go nuts, don't hesitate to shoot me.
Oh, I won't. You know that.
And I open the book. I hate reading.
Right. Make me mental
You
saving
should have
throw.
let me do it then.
He should
The
be good
mental?
at that with his charisma, I think.
I'm actually
That's
pretty good.
also why I wanted the captain to touch it. Oh, net
There we
20.
go.
Oh,
From 11.
You carefully pick the clasp on the book. Well, there are letters in it.
Can anyone read this? Wait! You said we can know one language, right?
I didn't say one, you get to know whatever language you picked up at level 1.
Can that be ancient
No.
Nevikar? Shit.
Don't you have the diplomat feat?
I do, but it will take me time to decipher this. It will take me about... Let me check.
Well, diplomacy doesn't allow you to decipher language, it allows you to learn language. You can't learn a
Learn a
language from a book in the language. Not without...
challenge
No,
accepted.
yeah, it says... you speak all the languages common to the sector, and you can learn a new one to a workable level in a week, becoming fluent in a month.
Some of the languages are like you could do that with, let's say, Celestial, Infernal, Abyssal. Like, some of the languages are just
Old magic.
I
old
should-
magic, yes.
I hear
I wanna-
old magic.
Look, you can talk to
I wanted to
literally
take this-
everybody in the sector.
I wanted to take this foci, so if we ever needed to learn Draconic again, it will just take a fucking week.
Not really, but
I think
Right.
Aether speaks Common and passable Elvish, as well as a regional language from the material plane that's unlikely to ever show up. So
I think you have like 3 extra languages. I think from your intelligence.
no, because it's based on no skill, not intelligence.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay.
according to-
No, good to know. Yeah. So in that case, Tal, I'm not sure you get any extra languages because
Yeah,
I'm
if
pretty
it's a
sure you know
-1.
is 0 or -1. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you have some
But
relatives
no,
that
but
can teach
he
you.
speaks all the languages that are common in the system.
Yes, this
according
language
to
is not
Cthulhu.
common to the system. Like
Yeah,
you
no,
don't
of course
recognize
not, of
this
course
language.
not. But he speaks a lot of languages, just not this
No.
one.
Right then.
Perfectly safe. How unfortunate.
Seems that way. I'm still holding the book, right? Or
I assume it's still on the thing, and you just like opened it.
on pedestal. Alright. Can anyone take a look at this?
1 more at level
Captain, do
0,
you-
3 more at level 1. So
Oh, I also know another language. Okay.
Captain, do you feel any sudden compulsion towards, I don't know, world domination, rampant mass exsanguination?
Not out of the ordinary, only the normal levels of always persisting there in the background.
Figured. Any urge to go dancing naked in a cemetery at night?
Well, now that you offer,
Sounds good.
Okay,
So,
never done that before.
No,
I think
that's
we
what-
just agreed on something. I didn't really listen.
so I'm not particularly sure how we are going to, like, what to do with this, and who the fuck would buy this if we were looking to sell it.
oh,
probably-
we're not
yeah.
selling this until we're 100% sure what this is, what importance it carries.
You say so?
How can you value a thing that you do not understand?
Besides, it's all disposed.
Question.
Chances are, Captain can get in the big boy book back home for this. And isn't that what all of the little wannabe vampires do?
Perhaps.
Out of character, do we even know that he wants to become a vampire? I think what we only know that like he's from the Red Dawn.
It just sort of
Okay.
assumes that everyone in Red Dawn lands is like
Yeah.
either fucking hates vampires or wants to be a vampire, and he doesn't seem to loathe them with a passion.
you know, like Red Dawn, like kindergarten, like first grade, is asking, "What's your dream?" And it's like, "I want to be a skyship
Already
pilot.
done.
I want to be a necromancer. I want to be a vampire." That's like 3 top most popular professions.
You've done this joke before, but the last time I think you just added vampire to the usual professions. Like, I want to be a vampire chef. I want to be a vampire astronaut.
Vampire astronaut, that would be awesome.
Well, in that case, I think our next step is figuring out how to blow this thing up. I mean,
Right.
not the book, but the station. Have the reactor go haywire.
Why do we do it again? He asked for it, right?
Yes, he asked to
Mhm.
have it to scuttle this place, so
All right.
And Scuttle, it will
Sounds
be.
good.
I think it'll probably be figuring that part out as usual. Gonna be Aether and Dalu, I think. Setting up maybe a program for it to blow up with some delay or something of the like.
Overcharge the core, perhaps.
Yeah.
Dal is gonna warn you that, if you wanna do that, we'll have to turn the reactor back on first.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's gonna be a little bit risky.
He means very risky.
I don't really know. I mean, that's what you said last time, Isa. Kinda bad to make it go boom and
Yeah.
on and off and on. And off
Well,
and on and off
you see-
again.
I kind of think it's a bit risky though.
That's
Good
what you
impression,
that's
holy
good
shit.
one.
That
He's
Really
back.
was a parrot in my previous life.
Probably. But I mean, if it malfunctions and blows up while we're trying to start it up, we are also sort of accomplishing the goal anyway, as long as it doesn't blow up too fast.
I mean, if we get out in
Well,
time. Yes.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I mean, we can have
How
the
fast can you
ship
get us out of
running.
here?
Ship running, I can snap us there in an instant if something goes wrong, and we can try and make as much distance as possible, which, should do something for us.
We need to get the ship ready, like key
Yeah.
in the ignition. I don't know how that works.
That
Oh.
part is quick.
Right.
Right?
but if I die, Captain, you get to eat my corpse.
Now, what would I want to eat your corpse?
I don't care.
It's a very
Care
useful
what you
tool.
want to do.
We can use it. We have the technology.
To be fair,
No,
usually, like, zombies aren't used long term. They're usually converted into skeletons and mummies because they last longer. To be fair, the
this
flesh
seems
is usually used as fertilizer rather than as food. That kind of makes more sense. But
Anyway,
Why not just had a second what the fuck moment?
before I die from this conversation, yeah, we have a station to blow up. Incidentally, Dalu, what was with those cargo ships?
what do you
In
mean?
the outpost.
The ones we scanned.
Yes.
Yeah, well, what was those?
I don't know. I think they're like mining ships or something.
Where are they again?
At the research station, a couple of hours away.
No, at the outpost.
At the outpost, a couple of hours away.
Oh, right, good, okay, yes, fine, fantastic. We're not blowing anyone up, other than ourselves. And the corpses.
You think it's gonna be that big an explosion?
No. That's what I'm
'Cause
saying.
if it is, like, can our ship get
No,
far
definitely
away?
not. No, definitely not. No, nobody would allow the use of things like that.
Right, I trust you. Should I go
Or
turn it
rather,
back
they
on?
wouldn't use of it, but they would use of it militarily in order to cause the explosions. Not, I mean, that'd be much better as an explosive than. Well, right. Yes. Well, to work.
Alright. So, you want him to turn it back on. Let's see.
Can I, while they go and set up, can I, start powering up the ship? And just have it, sort of,
Sure.
have a car on standby? I know
Yeah.
it's gonna be taking a couple of hours, maybe, for them to get this done. But just in case I want the ship on, and then when it's on, I'm walking back.
Okay.
And parked it with the front end towards the exit.
Yeah, I basically have it prepped to press on the gas and fly as far away as possible in a second.
Alright.
Maybe having to maneuver a bit.
So, like,
you know.
you park it such way that, as you remember, like, you're currently on the second floor, and there was like basically that gallery that leads to it. So you park the ship such in a way that somebody can run from the center of the base, jump off the gallery, land on the top deck of the ship, and get into the hatch, and break all their legs in the process.
No, not
No?
like
Okay.
that.
All right. So you park it just a bit further away, so they can't make the jump. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Because they are not going to be jumping. They are not going to be jumping. And if they are, that's their fault.
Okay, so dollar. He needs to turn it on. First time.
I'm
So,
assuming
yeah.
we already brought the book inside the ship, and Aether is being taken to the med bay by Wino?
No, we
No,
need
she-
Aether in the control room.
She's
In the reactor.
Oh, okay.
We need her help
Mostly-
for this.
poison to death.
So is Dal turning it
So,
on?
how about we put the book first in the ship?
I
if we
brought the
can?
book back in that storage box
Okay.
and put it somewhere in the ship, potentially close to the med bay with the.
You fools! It can't possess
Yeah.
your body. It can possess your ship.
That is very possible.
There are
We
still
not-
bodies it can possess on the ship. Just saying.
So what are we doing now?
Bunnies.
And then I'm also walking back, and I think when we're all over there, then
Uh-huh.
they will start the turning it back on operation.
All right. Anybody's helping Dal?
Sure.
Maybe I'll.
Yes,
Aether, what did you want
I'm
to
so
try?
fucking useless in these.
Did you want to try something?
How do you mean?
How are you helping
No.
him? Just
Well, Ether's first of all making sure that there's sufficient power. Secondly, wait, is this helping with the roll to boot up the thing or the roll to set it to blow?
boot up.
Like, okay. With booting up, honestly, she is whenever there's some like diagnostic that's flaring up with an alert, whenever there's something that's not doing the thing he's telling it to, you know, she's running around at his beck and call,
All right.
like,
Got it.
making sure that yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thank God you're helping him because 10 was a DC. But yeah, he manages to like half remembering how he was doing it last time, half you having to watch his back because he kind of forgets a couple things, but you managed to get the system back online, and like within half an hour the reactor is turned on and to full power output as well. And just like to save some time, let's put it that way, like after some more checking into the system, and I guess like maybe talking to you, Isa, Dal tells you that like he sees two ways you can go about this. You can either like set reactor to not like sleeping mode, but like complete shutdown, which will switch the base to like backup power for a while, and when it runs out, the base will have no power and will start falling until it hits something. Hopefully, the water plane. But it will give you a lot of time because you can have an hour basically. Backup power runs out. Option number 2. You try to set up this reactor to overload and blow up, but like he's not sure how quickly that's gonna happen. I mean, most likely not in a minute, but there's gonna be a boom, gonna blow up and start falling in pieces.
Ether's going to check in with the others to see if it's okay, but she's definitely going to advocate for the former idea, not just because it gives us longer to get away, but because it leaves less evidence of us intentionally causing this to happen. Like, presumably, a place like this, the power just completely dying and the thing, you know, descending into oblivion is the thing that just realistically might happen, whereas it blowing the F up on its own is maybe a bit more cause for concern about sabotage.
I mean, on one hand, yes. On the other hand, all of the bodies in storage will still be accessible at some point down the line. All of whatever is left in here can be retrieved, though I presume in a somewhat damaged state once it's fallen for a bit.
At great expense and with a lot of effort, which... Do we care? It's still destroyed for most intents and purposes.
Some crew members have seemed concerned about these bodies.
They turned out to be dead. I looked it up.
Yeah. I just figure it might be falling forever. Couldn't it be? Like, until it hits
No, it's not going
something.
to be falling forever.
Well, eventually it will hit the plane of war or the plane of fire.
No,
Water.
it
Water.
falls, goes to the water.
I
And
mean,
in
it might be
that case,
falling
it'll
for a
fall
while,
ice.
like days, maybe even weeks, and most likely, if it's like assuming it hits nothing else in the way, it just hits a plane of water. It most likely like still like crack and flood completely. So
I mean, won't it hit the plane of ice, actually? If it goes down, not air, water, really?
yeah,
Yeah, it's free solid.
it depends where it falls.
Impossible for them it'll be near impossible for them to retrieve at reasonable cost. And if they somehow do intercept and stabilize it beforehand, then not only can we still go back and try to overload it, we also have concrete evidence of their very active and very current involvement in the area, which I imagine your patron, whomsoever they might be, would appreciate.
I mean, I personally love flying away from an ongoing explosion. I think that's a very nice thrill. But if you all are up for the safe option, I'll settle for it.
The issue with leaving just before the explosion is that one time in 5 you leave just after the explosion in bits.
Yeah, but the rush of adrenaline, yeah. It's something else you can do.
I have no idea what you're saying. The connection's breaking up. We're setting it to deactivate.
I have a final decision.
Yes, it seems like we're going with the power off kind of method.
Alright.
Falling slowly to the ice or water domain.
That goes alright, but this is my second time trying to interfere with this system today, so it's gonna be a bit harder. So watch my back, somebody.
Or
This has us.
I'll- can I help him? Like,
How?
Is it,
yeah. What did you want to say?
I wanted to ask, is it safer if we just do it tomorrow in that case? Is that easier for you? Because we have a day. That's 100 credits we're paying apart from our personal time. That's all.
I mean, I think we turned on the reactor right, so I don't think it's gonna blow up in the night. And
Yeah, so why not just chill until the morning and set it up?
What's the
Alright.
worst that could happen if we try today? Can we try again tomorrow?
The worst that could happen is that whoever's interested in this place will return, find us here, and murder us in our sleep.
well, it can lock me out of the system like completely,
Oh,
and then it just keeps working until it doesn't, and we have to break it with hands, which I think is gonna be a lot more dangerous.
You?
okay, tomorrow then, I guess.
I mean, at that point, I'm just rigging a hand grenade with a mechanical timer.
Is that enough damage?
It could very well be enough damage to essential parts to shut it down. Certainly, it won't trigger any critical overload.
Oh, you don't have
mean,
any
why not?
grenades, but
Why not wait till tomorrow? This place hasn't been visited in the week we were gone. It hasn't been visited in a while before we came. I don't think
it
anyone is coming here.
It did. 2 ships did scramble to defend as we left.
Yeah, they were part of this whole setup here.
And who's to say that this setup did not include a 3rd vessel sent off to alert others?
And perhaps the video footage we saw of those 2 exact vessels being prepped? And no 3rd vessel?
That's fair.
Alright, so you're waiting a day?
Very well.
Yep,
Please don't forget to also
I am.
move
I
date. No, date on the
Uh-huh.
transfer screen, because I'm trying to pay attention, but I might be forgetting as well. It should be 20.
I have a ship log that I keep where I
Uh-huh.
write down the day and what happens on the day. So
Alright.
Is Aether healed next morning?
Well, she will regain 3 hit points and 1
Oh,
system strain.
That's-
For the rest of the day, I mean, there is a rest of the day, right?
Yes, there's a lot of the day. Yes, if you want to do something.
Can I try and decipher this, or is this an impossible task?
You can try. No, go for a no magic or no intelligence.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Also, out of curiosity,
Okay.
is this a script we know, or like is this a completely different script, or is it just different language and same script?
I don't get what you mean.
Is it like the letters in English, but it's just
Oh
gibberish?
no, it's
or
different
is it
language.
even
It's different
not-
language.
So even the letters are different.
Yes. And
Yeah. I'll
by
go
the way,
for
while
that.
he's doing that, do you provide Aether with medical treatment?
yeah. I'll offer it at least. Would you like some medical
Fine.
treatment? Okay. There's something I'll show you. I can't explain. I'll have to show you. I'll walk to the med bay.
But if you're gonna steal my organs, just have the decency to do so.
No, I've found
No.
substitutes. Meet our new crew members, and there are.
Well, you have
They
not
have
been making
bunnies.
golems.
Please have names for them. Please have names for them.
Why would he have names for bunnies named snack number 1, snack number 2, and snack number 3?
To make it harder to snack on.
You know what? Never mind. I'm going back to bed.
Can I give you medical
No,
treatment?
just
Oh, okay.
No, fine. Okay.
So I'm not giving her medical treatment.
Okay. Oh,
I
wait.
got
Yeah.
stuck.
And their names are Fluffer, Hopper, and Mr. Ear.
There you go.
Was it only 3 bunnies? Oh. Oh, Mr. and Ears different bunnies.
Who is different? Yeah, Mr. Ear is a bit different.
Well, they're 2 different bunnies, Mr. and Ear.
How many bunnies do you have?
2.5.
Seriously?
One.
Okay.
Mr. Ear is missing something.
You already ate 2.
What? It's a science.
You ate 2 on the way.
You don't know.
I don't.
Wonderful.
It's all in the name of science.
it's not you don't know; it's you don't want to know
Yeah.
what happened to these.
Yeah, the 2 bunnies look very docile and
No,
Anyway.
they're really happy.
Sure.
They have a big playground, lots of food.
Miles, so you like start poring over the book, and it's You don't really understand anything in it. It feels like a journal. Like the structure of its paragraphs and so on look like journal entries. Occasionally there is something that you think are like arcane formulas. Not sure what for spells, for items. I get a feeling like you've recognized some symbols, but you're not sure where from. Maybe you've seen them in some spells somewhere. You can't quite get your head on it. Anybody else doing anything else today?
Sleeping.
Right? Lens?
No, I'm good. If Lance dies, I'm rolling a fucking accountant to keep track of all of this shit that I'm tracking, you know? Then at least it'll be in character.
He'll have trade and
Yes, I will have trade.
as his main focuses, as his main skills.
Alright. In that case, the morning of the next day, the 20th, comes. And most of you are refreshed. Winald, you've got your spell slots back. Aether, you don't feel better.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
Wait, she didn't regain hit points?
You didn't regain hit points or system strain.
Oh boy.
I'm wondering, how does Melanie feel right now? You don't
Huh?
look.
What? I'm
You look really.
just
tired.
super fucking tired. Sorry, I woke up at like 4 in the morning.
Jeez.
Alright.
Good time.
In that case, let's go try finish the reactor thingy. And that's most likely
Thank you,
gonna
sorry.
be the day. Alright, so I assume you all gather, like, ship is on again, parked properly, like, or you'll get in the control room and tell Dalu to go ahead and try to turn off the reactor. Anybody trying to help him in any way?
Can I help in the same capacity I helped with the powering on? You know,
You can try, sure, go for it.
checking readouts and readouts and everything. Yeah. So that would be 6.
It appears that the numbness in your arms distracts you a little bit, and though you try to help, you don't catch quite all of it. Which leaves Dalu to try and...
All I'm gonna say in my defense is I burned a 1 and a 2.
Nice.
Good. Good.
See?
That's skilled working for it. So, like, you watch Dalu kind of like walk on this, like, sweating a little bit. He goes, "No, Captain, if we're still gonna raid more Red Order bases, I need a book of their programming language. It's kind of creepy." And then he kind of like inputs his last command, and you kind of hear the slowing down whirring of fans from the center of the room, and the lights just go.
Everybody, come to me, please.
And then in about
right
like
now.
30 seconds, you see the backup like red lights come on, and Al goes, "All right, I think it's backup system. I've got a timer on my compad. We've got 59 minutes, I think.
Sounds
Unless
good. Let's get out of here.
it's working properly."
Yes, and I will just flick everyone right back to the ship, like to the front. We can't port. I mean, I'm not sure if we can port into it while it's docked, but just in front of it, and we
Right.
can move in.
Yeah. Okay.
And I will fly it, to a bit away, turn our ship around. You guys think we should fire our gun at the entrance a bit? Just make it a little more hard to enter in the future. It's gonna fall in a bit anyway. Shouldn't do anything to its core. There's no way it can get to the entrance, to the center.
And this
Sure.
bay collapse
I
around
did-
us?
That would be
Feels-
good if it would collapse. Yes, that would be
Are we
perfect.
clear?
I don't see any
Yes, I flew out and then
Okay.
turned it around.
I don't see any particular reason to, but if anyone wants to hit a fancy button, feel free to.
I would like some explosions, please.
Actually, I kind of want to shoot myself.
You're so good at impressions, dude.
That
But
was
I'm
fucking
funny.
crazy.
He's so good
I
at
thought it
impressions.
was back.
Alright.
Go ahead.
So you have double-band guns and
Yeah, just blast
Yeah.
the laser into
Right,
there. or
yeah.
something.
so he gives a couple shots, which, to be fair, like can't like shoot your ship weapon in automatic mode. It takes quite a while for them to recharge. So basically, like you spend half an hour like putting 2-3 shots into the opening, but rolls are required to hit the stationary station. You're not sure how much damage it did because it's a laser. It's kind of like penetrative than explosive. But you think it did something, so no better than
Yeah.
nothing.
Anything's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I guess, do you want to wait out the end of the timer?
Yeah, I will fly a little further off just
Mhm.
to be safe, but I would like to confirm it's starting to fall and see it from a distance until it's like, sort of a decent size, like a person in the distance or that
Yeah.
size.
Alright. So Dal kind of checks it on the com and tells you that well, at least everything is working as intended. Like the arcane emissions from the rock are almost like not there, and the timer comes out, and a couple more minutes passes, and he goes, "Strange. You should have already started to fall." And then you just see the rock kind of like shift a little bit and start slowly going down. It's like it goes
Just need an encouragement, dear.
accelerating as it goes. On the way down, like another of those like rock clusters gets in the way and hits this rock, and they both kind of like go. Your rock kind of like goes spinning in the direction and continues falling, spinning. Slowly, slowly disappearing in the distance.
That certainly will have done it.
As
That
like
will
more like rubble
Try to
falls
imagine
off of it.
Body is stored there.
I think I left my bottle of water on the rock.
Good one, dear.
Let's go get it, yes?
That's not.
Hans Zimmer music starts playing. What are you doing, Lance? Docking.
It's time.
And this is where we're gonna end the session for tonight, as I think
Yes.
some of our players are dying as their characters are.
I'm so sorry. No.
Go
I
get
am
your
super-
fluids and go sleep.
Yes.
Yes, I'm gonna. Yeah. Good night. Goodbye.
Good
Bye.
night.
I'll
Thank you
see
very
you in a
much
bit.
for
Oh.
the session.
Oh, she's gone already.
yeah?
You're level 4 now.
What? Already?
Yay.
No. We level too fast. No.
It's gonna get even slower after this.
No, we
but-
need level 5 for an extra focus, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think
I
you
think
get
I
anything at level 4.
Let me check my skill tree. Do I level anything?
Stop the recording.